Hello, everyone, and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick, and we all just watched an absolute shit show of a game. England 0, USA 0.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Yeah, very boring game. I'm joined by Gary as usual, Virgil sadly, and this week we've got Nigel back. How are you, Nigel?
Yeah, wacky doll. All right, mate. Yeah, fucking good game.
Still better than Wales.
Yeah, still better than Wales. Yeah.
True, though, isn't it?
Oh, you got to look on the bright side, didn't you? And that is looking on the bright side there.
It was a poor game. Like I say, we'll go into it. I mean, at this stage, I will get more touchy. If we get to the latter stages and we have a game like that, I'll probably be a little bit more touchy. But I just thought it was a boring game.
Well, look,
I don't feel.
If we get to the later stages and have a game like that, Nick, it'll be good night Vienna.
It will be. It will be. Gary, we've got to change that background.
Oh, yeah, because it says Man City there, doesn't it?
Yes.
Right, hang on a minute. I'll work on it. I'll work on it. You've done it already?
I've done it. I just can't get the stuff.
Yeah, well.
How are you, Gary, anyway?
I'm all right. I've just, I must admit, I thought that was a thoroughly professional performance tonight in grinding out, winning a point. Winning a point, it's better than losing 2 points, isn't it? We won a point. We won a point. 4 points after 2 games is all we need is a point against the Welsh. Oh, imagine if that went wrong.
I know. Well, at least we all now...
We can lose and qualify. Wales need to beat us.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can.
Oh, is that right?
We're through. We're through. We're through.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But at least we all know what David Moyes is doing in Qatar now. He's clearly giving Gareth Southgate some pep talks. On
his little brother.
We
don't mention the M word.
Right, and finally, Virgil.
Yes.
How are you, mate? You all right? You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate, because to be honest with you, I was bored with the game, but I'm happy with the point, end of the day. But then I was bored with you three talking about oil heaters and entry systems. No one cares. Get me off.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. We just happen to be cold in our sheds, and we just decide how to talk about how to warm ourselves up.
It's all one way with John. No? I mean, we have to listen to his fucking cab journeys that he goes on, but he won't listen to us talking about access control doors. Nigel.
It's how much the fare was.
Yeah, good.
I picked this American up from fucking Paddington and dropped him off in fucking Prague Street. Guess how much the fare was?
I picked up a bloke from Saudi, gave me double the money, but if it was Jeff Bezos, I'd have booted him out no matter what he'd have offered me. Bollocks, you would.
He gave me double fare because he was happy with their win. Happy days.
I buy your wife. How much your wife?
But anyway, I'm going to hand this over to you, Gary, and I haven't prepped you for this at all, so wing it. You're going to take us through the game while I sort out the... I sort out the... the action points. You shouldn't take you too long.
No, it's fantastic, Nick. Thanks for doing that. It's amazing. It's amazing. I really appreciate that.
There you go.
Yeah. So look, I thought the game started in a very how can I say? It looked like in a controlled manner. We were passing it around at the back. We were taking it easy. We seemed to be. I likened it at one point to Muhammad Ali's rope-a-dope against I think Joe Frazier, where we were just sucking him in and wearing him out. Didn't quite work out like that, but that is what we were trying to do. We were just having all the possession. They were chasing us all over the pitch without really producing much. Until the later stages of the first half, right? And then I think we saw a couple of very, very dangerous moments. We start off
very quickly. Do I need to get the camel done for this one?
You do need to get the camel done for this because there's plenty of camels tonight.
Camels are replacing donkeys, Nigel, on our player ratings.
Camel toes.
No, the theory is
only for really bad ones. Camel toes.
Yeah, the theory is with the camels is they give us the right ump.
Yeah,
so that's what we do.
Oh, classic.
Yeah,
little bit of the great idea there, Nick, by you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Inadvertent. But yeah, so what did you think in the first half? I mean, the early stage of the first half before the USA had their few chances. What did you think, Nige? What did you think? How did we do?
It was slow and laboured, and basically USA set up well, and it's the same way they were unlucky against Wales at the end of the day. Wales got a fortunate penalty to rescue a last-minute point.
Yeah.
And USA would have won that game. They've done the same, so you can see how organised they are. They're very organised, and they do press. England didn't press back, and I think this was the problem. They were happy to let us. How many times did we pass the ball side? The back forward was passing it amongst us. I think 50% of our passes were between the back four, between each other. We seem devoid of wanting to try and go forward. And
it was like watching West Ham, wasn't it?
Not quite.
Actually,
I won't go. It was that bad. Sorry, that good. Slip of the tongue there. Moist forever. But it weren't great. No, it wasn't great. So,
do you think it was a wing backs, Nigel? Do you think it was a wing backs? The fact that in this game they had wing backs with pace, basically.
Well, I think what it was is that if we'd have played a two banks of four, or if we had two players genuinely out wide, I think it would have worked better.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think this is where this is where Gareth Southgate really, really, really is similar to Moyes, right? The team played really well against Iran. And so he against
the shit team, he'll go for it.
But listen, let me finish. I ain't finished. Right. He played against Iran. We tore Iran to shreds through the quick passing. They were out of the game. We looked brilliant, and Bellingham looked like a fucking well beater. I'd said the other day he looked like a superstar in the making, didn't he? And maybe he is, right? But you've got to be bigger than that as an England manager, and you've got to realise that every opponent needs beating, and you're not just going to line up the same as you did in the last game against a shit team like Iran and just roll USA over. But that's clearly what Gareth Southgate thought should happen. That's similar to what Moyes would do as well. What do you reckon, John?
I disagree that it was. I think the main reason for me, the problems were we weren't pressing as units. We was like half pressing, so someone would press and someone wouldn't press. And it was just letting them out too easily. Whether they had fast players or not, I do agree that they obviously did cause us problems down their channels and that on their wings. But I think a lot of it came from we just weren't pressing properly. And you can't, USA are not the team they used to be in the 80s and 90s. We knew it'd be a tougher test than it was against Iran. But I think the main problem came from a lack of pressing. And when we did get the ball, I couldn't believe how cheaply we kept giving it away. We just kept giving it away so cheaply. And it was just a bit it was a bit of it was tetchy, it was itchy, it was rubbish. It was a bit of a
it was crap.
Poor. It was poor.
It was a crap first half, wasn't it? And I think in that first half,
I think the problem is Gary. I think the problem is the it's a Souček syndrome. I think we've got to get our Souček out of the team, and in this case, it is Harry Kane. I don't know what he's done in the last two games. Honestly, we've got too many Spurs players in the team. So Harry Kane hasn't been performing well enough.
Okay, but what service was he getting? He has to drop deep when he's getting nothing.
He has to drop deep. But do you know something? I do think that Callum will. No, but I think what Callum Wilson should have got 10 minutes. He did well when he came on last time. You could see that Kane wasn't fit and firing there. He's picked up an injury. He ain't been trained. He has trained the last day. But is it that sort of syndrome where Harry Kane decides he's going to play like he did in the Tottenham Champions League final?
Yeah, this is like when David Beckham injured his metatarsal. He's going to play. And he was on the front of the sun, and everyone had to focus on his metatarsal, trying to heal the metatarsal using the psychic. What's his name? The old. What was his name?
Eileen Drury.
What was his name?
Yuri Geller.
Yeah, Yuri Geller. Yuri Geller inspired everyone to look at the metatarsal and heal the metatarsal because Beckham had to play. Because without Beckham, we were shit. It's only one player. He's a very good player. But I must admit, I watched quite a few recent England games, including these last couple, and I sort of agree with Nick. I don't really see what he brings.
There's a funny thing in the Brazil game. The Brazil game had Richarlison as the central striker, Paqueta playing deeper, pulling the strings in midfield.
Paqueta was good.
What you've got is you've got two players, and I listened to that game on the radio. And what all the commentators were going was talking about how these players hadn't set the Premier League alight this season. And that's agreed. But what the commentators failed to realise is that's because for their clubs, they weren't playing in the positions they were playing for in Brazil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you look at Harry Kane and look at Richarlison, I was talking with a Tottenham fan today, even they were starting to think, well, why don't we put Richarlison in there instead of Kane and see what he does?
If Kane's fit, he has to play. He's a golden boy. If he's fit, he just has to play.
That could be, though, now I'm coming around to that could be part of the problem. Kane ain't forward thinking. He's dropping too deep.
Yeah.
His layoffs are terrible. His layoffs are absolutely terrible.
He always looks laboured, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He always looks laboured, right? He's got no fucking pace whatsoever. And when I compare him to Beckham, the reason I do that is because Beckham was the captain as well. So he was undroppable. And Kane seems to be undroppable as well. So, yeah,
Kane had two fucking good chances today. He had 2 good chances to score today.
Well, he did that one where
one in the first half, and
the defender got a good block on it.
Yeah, that's right.
And a header in the second half.
Yeah, but the only thing I'd say is we was all talking on WhatsApp about Saka and what's his name would come off
Sterling.
Oh, he was
Sterling. Yeah, and Mount. They were all guilty of getting in good positions and giving the ball away. I felt so. As much as you can blame Kane for dropping deep, I think the more frustrated someone like that gets, a striker will start dropping deep. It's natural.
It ain't even that he's dropping deep, John. When he did drop deep, well, I mean, what he's normally good at, Kane, is passing the ball and feeding it free. He weren't even good at that today. A couple of his passes weren't right. They weren't on the money. I did think that Grealish and Rashford both looked good when they came on.
Yeah.
I mean, you forward thinking, though, aren't they? I mean, the substitution for me, Bellingham. I know Bellingham weren't playing great, but then neither was Mason Mount, I thought.
No, he weren't.
There was a great moment to sum that up after substitution. Mason Mount decided to become a one-man pressing unit and got outpassed by the USA goalkeeper.
Yeah, I saw that.
you know, it was quite funny for me.
What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on Mason Mount in the England setup at the moment? Do you? Because the thing is, I'm assuming, what is he playing? Is he advanced central midfielder, isn't he?
He's playing.
You got Rice as a holding midfielder. You got Bellingham as box to box, and you got Mount as one. You know,
no, you got Rice as the sitting holding midfielder. Yeah, you've got Mount and Bellingham playing left and right in front of him, right? So was Mount playing on the left, isn't he? Yeah. To be honest, Mount I had him down as having a poor game in the last one. I had him down as he did work hard today, but I don't think he did much. I don't think he has. I don't think he has a quality at this level, Mount. I got to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not.
If he has against certain teams,
I think good players. I think just samey, aren't they? We've got too many samey players.
When you're being pressed, you've got to be able to pick the pockets. So you need the players like Grealish and Foden who do that for Man City. Man City get pressed by a lot of teams because they know the damage they can do. Yet they still be able to pick. They'd still be able to pick their way through it. And how you pick your way through the presses, you play in bunches of 3s and 4s. Yeah. So every time a player's got the ball, he's got to have 2 or 3 options to give it to him. You've got to move around the team like that. England, we was just so spaced away. If you look at the USA, they always had 4 people attacking, but then when we attacked, they had 5 or 6 back. They would get back and get into position.
They were far more organised than us. Yeah. And they were far more athletic.
But considering Gareth
they were set up perfectly for their personnel against us.
Well, I don't think they were particularly talented. I don't think they were particularly talented.
If they were, they'd have been 3-0 up at half time.
They were great athletes and very organised. That's it, right? That's it. End of story. Well, they weren't great.
Yeah, but I know Pulisic's qualities. I've always rated Pulisic. I'd love to have West Ham to have goal if I'm honest with you. But what's the number 8 in the middle called? McAvenny or something? What's his name?
No, Weston McKennie. So he's a player, the Juventus midfielder that we've been linked with for about 3 windows now. He's a good player.
I've got to show a comment. Sorry, John, to step on your toes, right? But Foden is for Southgate as Benny is for Moyes.
He is,
I think that's true.
Yeah.
At half time today.
But Foden delivers.
Yeah, that's true. But at half time today, Gary Neville, it's very unusual to see Gary Neville go off at the deep end over a player like this. He really fucking, and this is a Man City player. He really went off and basically said Foden is the best player in the England squad. What the fuck is he doing on the bench?
He actually is.
Yeah,
I know.
And I was sitting there listening to it. I was a little bit incredulous listening to it. I thought, fucking, is he really saying it? He was proper coming out and saying. And Roy Keane next to him weren't even disagreeing.
Unusual.
No, but he is. How can you have a player like Foden, who is he's one of the first names Pep puts down on the Man City team, and yet he's not good enough to play for England.
It's unbelievable.
When he's playing with some of the best players in the world.
But Nigel, it comes down to playing style. When you look at the way that Man City play, for instance, that's why Jack Grealish, even though Jack Grealish doesn't really get played a lot by Southgate, but the reason that Foden is so important to the way that City plays is because it's pass and move, fluid play, dynamic play.
But that's how you beat a team like USA.
Yeah, I know, but Southgate doesn't set his team up like that. We're too static. So if you just put Foden in there and he hasn't got like-minded players around him, you've got a Paqueta at West Ham situation.
Yeah.
A little bit,
but the two or three times we moved the ball quickly in one touch in the first half, we left their defense. We left them standing, and we got through them as well, and we got behind them. But then we went back to fucking passing side to side. That was the way. How
many subs did we make today? Sorry, was it Henderson, Grealish, and Rashford? Wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
was that it,
Rashford, Grealish. Yeah, 3. Yeah, just 3.
Okay, cool.
So,
I mean, I think that was crying. I mean, they said it at the end on the pundits and that. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold, bring him on just to get some crosses in. The quality of crossing was poor. I just think our midfield, not Rice. I thought Rice did well, but I think apart from Rice, I think our midfield let us down. And I've got to say, I think Henderson made a little bit of a difference when he came on. I know you made a bit of a joke.
No, I was shocked when he was coming on, but I'll concede. Yeah. At that point, Bellingham did well. He did fuck all. No, Bellingham did nothing.
No, Henderson did.
Oh, Henderson did.
Henderson did all right when he came on, if I'm honest with you. But
he did.
I know he's not.
I think you could see when he was coming on, you can see he's charismatic. He's a leader, isn't he? So he's trying to sort of cheer everyone up.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the reason he's there. But we'll get onto the players after. But I will say, I think that Harry Maguire. I've been a big critic of his, but he is like England's. He's like Gareth Southgate's Dawson. And you can see why he uses him, because for England, the guy is full. I mean, that was like every fucking set piece that came into the box today. It was like a magnet to his head.
It was a wonderful performance from Harry Maguire today. It was fucking unreal. 15 out of 10 today. He was superb. He cleared everything up. Yeah, him and Stones did well as well. So 2 really good centre-half performances. Yeah. I wasn't happy with Trippier. I thought he made quite a few mistakes, and also getting forward, he was sloppy. I thought Shaw really wound me up. I think you've got to be top drawer when you're international, right? Did you see that time in the first half where Shaw got forward? He didn't have the cross on with his right foot. His left foot, which he's quite comfortable with. So he only had a cross on or a pass on with his right foot. So he decided to play it with his right foot. Fucking give it to the opposition. Don't do things like that. It's like you're not taking the opposition seriously, right? Just turn around, play it back, and build again. So I weren't happy with him. I weren't happy with Sterling. I weren't happy with Saka. I think John said it earlier.
I think when Saka and Sterling, when the likes of players like that are not doing it, which they weren't in the forward positions, which means that they're losing the ball, it's breaking down, it's going back towards their fullbacks, which is pegging those 2 back. I think they've got to be chasing back and tracking back an awful lot more than they were. And I don't think they were helping out, because what USA had was they had a lot of pace. Yeah, they did have a lot of pace.
Lee Dixon was calling
quality.
Lee Dixon was calling out both Saka and Sterling for not tracking back.
Yeah, they were both poor in every aspect of their game. I thought today, terrible.
I can't think of one thing Sterling did.
He didn't.
Saka, you could go. He got along. He got along. He did team up with.
Saka was at least getting on the ball.
Yeah. I don't think in the first half. With Trippier, he got about.
We're
going to put you on the minibus and buy you an ice cream in a minute. Behave.
We've got a lot of Americans in the chat.
Right, runs.
USA. In the hole. Get in the hole. Get in the hole.
Oh dear! Well, look, you got to let them have their day. They drew with Great Britain. They played well. It is Great Britain. There's a reason we're great. It's closing the name, isn't it, Nigel?
It is.
We are Great Britain. So, yeah, I don't know. We was poor. To be fair to them, and I will say this, to be fair, I think that they were, because look, and this isn't being condescending, we are far superior man for man to that team. We are. They have got some good players. We're far superior, but they were set up brilliantly. Their commitment was superb. If any team did deserve to win that, it was them. It weren't us.
I'm not being condescending, but that was your cup final today. When you did really well.
Listen, don't upset our American watchers. Yeah, stop being rude. There's a lot of them in the house.
Well done, guys.
Well done.
I think they were man for man better than us. I really do.
They were fantastic, John. Amazing.
The thing is, the only what I would say is for all them.
We're annoying Lawrence here. Lawrence Watkins. We've got regular American viewers.
Yeah.
Look, listen, Lawrence. Sorry. Look, we are. Come on, let's not alienate people.
No, let's not alienate Lawrence. Let's not alienate Lawrence.
Yeah, they couldn't beat the shit England team. How good are they,
Lawrence? Yeah,
they couldn't beat a shit England. England played crap, and we still got a 0-0 draw.
But again, Nigel, does this go back to when we play against a team like Liverpool or Man U or whoever else? Not that it happens very often with Moyes because he never beats them. But when he does,
he never beats them away.
No, but when we do have one, and other teams say, "Oh, it's because they played shit." Sometimes we feel, well, it's not. We say it's because we played well, and the fact is, I think they had a plan. I think they did shut us down. I think
did we play shut us down in midfield because of the way they played against us?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
I've just got to explain something to Lawrence and co. Right, when we talk on this podcast, we're not exactly genuine. Right, we're quite sarcastic. We're quite sarcastic. We take a piss.
Sense of humour. We take
the piss largely out of ourselves. Right, and that's exactly what we're doing, Lawrence. We're taking the piss out of ourselves. By taking the piss out of you, we're taking the piss out of ourselves. So don't take it personally. We're not taking the piss out of America.
To be honest with you, Lawrence, you've watched enough shows to know that Nick quite often alienates people, so it's normal.
It's usually John. Usually Johnny alienates. Usually John.
I know. He was coming on here to fight me tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Still waiting for it, John. Still waiting for it.
Pussy. American media are saying USA won a 0-0. That's terrible. That is terrible.
Not knocking it. The thing is, I had a great interview with two Americans on the BBC today. Well, when I say two Americans, one of them had a very London accent, and it was Musa, who plays in the middle.
Yeah, Musa.
It turns out
he was in London.
His dad was from Ghana. He grew up in London.
He's a fucking Cockney.
Played 7 or 8 years for the Arsenal youth team.
Yeah.
Grew up in Glasgow.
To represent USA.
So you saying that now? So Nigel, you saying that Wales are England B, are USA England C? Now is that what we're saying? England C.
No, it was just. But when it's still difficult when they talk about getting a penalty. Yeah, we got a PK, so we gave away a PK, which was disappointing. And you're thinking, fucking penalty, mate. A PK? What's a fucking PK?
It's a penalty cuck.
Fucking yeah. Work better out our offense. Fucking,
Oh right. Anyway, look, that's it. That's enough. Look, I feel bad for our American followers.
No, I know. I'm sorry, America.
They kicked the ball over the bar. I thought it got a point after touchdown.
But this is
this
is England, right? It's England we're talking about. So, we get a little bit passionate. Not as passionate as West Ham, but we get a little bit passionate.
Nigel, is this true? You want Gareth as Moyes' right-hand man?
I reckon he would. That's Nigel's dream.
Gareth from Moyes' dream team. Fuck it out.
That wouldn't be bad. But at the end of the day,
with Sam Allardyce's physio.
You got Paul Nevin. Sam, fucking mention that man's name. You've already got Moyes' right-hand man. Is Southgate's right-hand man? Did you not notice that?
No, really?
Paul Nevin.
Yeah, Paul Nevin's there, isn't he?
That explains a lot. That explains a lot.
Paul Nevin's the
problem,
the boring fucker. Really,
so actually, I think it's Nevin out. I don't think it's Moyes out or Southgate out.
No,
obviously,
Moyes,
found a common denominator.
Moyes out. Moyes out.
And it's
out.
Pat Nevin.
Moyes. Bad Moyes.
Get out.
Don't mention the N-word.
Don't worry, Nick. Lawrence has forgiven you. Our love for you crazy mates, Nigel.
Lawrence, phone in later and give us loads of abuse when we do the phoning. That's fine.
Not going on the tour, mate. You'd love to do the tour. There's a video about it that's coming out in July.
I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to do it next week. I'm going to do it next week, Nigel.
Did you film that before the Berlin Wall came down, Nigel?
It was a good day out, wasn't it? Fucking hell.
It was good.
We've all had birthdays since then, I think.
Yeah, I think we have. Yeah.
But look, we've got a good break now. England is shit. So, it'd be a nice thing to put out for over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
I think on the upside, Declan Rice was quite good. He's one of 3 players who was quite good. I agree completely with John's observations on this. It was the 2 centre halves and Declan Rice who would have picked.
Let's stop talking about this shit game anyway, and let's get into.
That's what we're here for.
No, look, what I mean is just go into player ratings.
Player ratings, yeah,
because it's just easier. Otherwise,
John sounded better there.
Oh, got the camels.
What on mute?
Yeah. Camels. People think camels, the players that give you the ump.
Can I just say something, Nick?
Yeah.
The ratio of camel to human doesn't seem to work. The camel's far too big.
Oh, he's got a little camel's head up there. Look.
Oh, I didn't see the head. I didn't see the head. I only saw the whole camel.
I sit myself down the bottom. Go on. Hang on 1 minute. Right. So anyway, go on. Pickford. I don't think you really have much to do, but go on, Gary. Tell me about Pickford.
Well, I thought Pickford actually. I know you take the piss out of me for this because you laughed earlier in text form, right? When I said he had that shot from Pulisic covered, right? I think he did have it covered. They weren't going in.
No, he got a fingertip to it.
Yeah, he got a fingertip to it. Exactly, right? And that's what the commentator said. Oh, it's beating the keeper, or worse to that effect. No, it didn't look like it. It looked like his arm went up. And exactly what Nigel said, because that's what Lee Dixon, I think, picked up in the commentary, wasn't it? That he got a fingertip to it.
Denial.
I blame the ITV. I think England played better when we won the BBC.
Yeah. Proves my point.
Yeah, I don't like ITV punditry. Don't like it.
Pickford did nothing wrong. And I tell you what, I love Pickford, the way he gets really angry when nothing happens. Right? I'm going to give him
he's from Sunderland. What else has he got to be happy about?
Exactly an 8. Very good. An 8 out of 10. Go on. 8 out of 10. Yeah, he was good. He was good. That little fingertip save off that Pulisic shot. All right, 7.
Someone's had a few too many Malbecs this evening.
I know. Right.
Respect the score, Nick. Stop trying to.
Nigel, I'm not affecting it. I'm not affecting it. Nigel, Luke Shaw.
Not sure, as I like to call him.
Yeah.
I'd 6.
4 out of 10.
6. Yeah,
we want to give out a first camel. Come on,
I don't think I'd save the camels for further forward. To be honest.
Yeah. So we've got. I think it was a lot. It was the same performance from both players. I think it was just average. I don't think they were helped by the idiots in front of them today. And I don't mean that they are idiots and they're bad players, by the way. But today they were shit. But we'll get onto them after. They were no good going forward. They were no good going back. So yeah, I don't think Shaw and Trippier were as effective as they were against Iran. But I don't think they were helped. So a 6 for me. John Stones.
I thought Stones was decent, to be fair. Didn't do anything wrong. I thought both centre halves did well. I think Maguire was better than Stones personally. I thought Stones was good. It's funny, isn't it? Because they had a lot of attack in that, but he didn't have loads of last-ditch tackles to make and things like that, really. But I think they were quite resolute in what they had to do. I think he was better than the left and right back or whatever they bloody are. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, 7. He was good. He was good.
Yeah.
Gary, you need to get a strobe light for your vape.
Oh, sorry.
That is why. And half cloudy in it. That one.
No, it's all right.
Okay. Yeah. Nigel, do you want Maguire? Going to give Maguire? He's one of the best
for
players.
me. He was man of the match for me, and so I'd give him an 8.
He does get a lot. He gets a lot of stick, doesn't he? And I think he doesn't really when it matters. As John says, actually, John says he doesn't let England down. He doesn't. He doesn't
4
really.
or 5 corners on the trot. And there was one great header where actually he sort of got caught under the ball. But if you look, Declan Rice ran towards the ball and the ball was 10 foot in the air above him. Rice just did not judge the flight of the ball. and Maguire dropped back and just nudged it with his head, backward flick, which took it away from the unmarked defender, and probably saved.
And the thing is, right? It isn't luck, because people will probably think, oh, the ball's just landing on his head. It's not luck. There is an art to that. He's judging the flight of the ball, isn't he?
There are two. Go on. There are two Harry Maguires in my mind. There's a Man United Harry Maguire. There's a Leicester Harry Maguire. This tonight was the Leicester Harry Maguire, the good one. He was very, very good.
I think, to be honest, I think I've said it all before when people saying, would you have Maguire in that? I think he just needs out of Man United. I just think he can't handle the goldfish bowl and all the circus around him. He's been given the blame. Literally, been given the whole blame is on Maguire. And like Gary says, it ain't luck. He's got a massive head. But Nick, you've got a big head. You've never won a header in your life, did you? So
it's nowhere near as big as your head.
5'4", isn't he? Fucking
nowhere near as big as your head.
Nick.
Nick's 5'4",
John's body's about 4'2", but his head's 3 foot tall. Right, come on then, Gary, Declan Rice.
Well, Declan Rice, I thought he had apart from that thing that Nigel just described, which I do remember. I thought
conveniently didn't see.
No, I thought Declan was very, very controlled, always looking for the ball, always making himself available for the ball. I give him a 7.
Yeah, I concur.
It didn't really do anything massively wrong. I thought he was more good than bad.
No, I think that Declan Rice
his role is to just sit in front of the back four.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
And that's what he does.
And that's what those three players did. Look at the three players there: Stones, Maguire, Rice. Those are the three players who kept that team together today.
Yeah, but I think Declan Rice. I think he can offer a lot more than what he does for England, but I think he sacrifices his game to do the job that we need him to do. Personally. He just sits there. He's shielded.
When he played that role for West Ham, Souček was twice the player he was.
Yeah, but Souček isn't Mount. Souček isn't Bellingham. But he is
a central defensive midfielder. Rice is a central defensive midfielder, and when he plays that role, he does bloody well at it.
Yeah, and that's what he should just concentrate on.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Yeah, but he's never going to get more than a fucking 7 or an 8 playing that. He's got a skill set that I think that we need as a club for him to sort of drive the ball forward. We haven't really got that in the middle.
No, but it's all right. Now we've seen in a couple of, now we've seen Paqueta plays, happily next to Casemiro, who plays a similar role to Declan Rice.
Absolutely. If his partner is Paqueta,
Moyes would have seen that.
If his partner is Paqueta, then if his partner's Paqueta, then Declan Rice has got to sit deep, 100%.
Yeah. Yes. The light bulb would have gone on in Moyes' head and said, that's how I use Paqueta. He's got to sit with Declan Rice.
He won't. He won't. I don't think he will,
because Souček is going to start the game against Arsenal. You know he will.
Yeah, right. So Gary, Mason Mount.
Mason Mount, I thought was a little bit average. He works hard, but he's what he actually delivers is pretty crap, to be honest. He didn't do anything.
I don't think he weren't terrible. He wasn't terrible today. He won a donkey.
Listen, he done about not donkey, but he done the equivalent of Bellingham, which was average, right? Average 5.
I think Mount. I was shocked that Mount played the whole 90 minutes. If I'm honest, because
I know.
I don't think he played well at all. I thought he was putting a lot of effort in and running around, but a little bit fruitless. He was just
the only thing that stops
any quality.
The only thing that stops me giving him a 4 is the effort. I thought he put in the effort. That's why I'm giving him a 5 at average.
I don't think you can play a midfield 3 of Rice, Mount, and Bellingham. No. Bellingham's a fantastic player, but really you need someone with a bit of drive in there. You ain't got a Trevor Brooking style player there.
No, you haven't.
I'll tell you what, Nigel. We need Madison. We need Grealish, or you need Foden.
Yeah,
in there,
that's what I'm saying. One of them. Playing the 3 of them, it's a bit sterile to me.
It is.
Listen. That game against Wales is going to be like, it's going to be like a Premier League game. It's going to be like an English FA Cup game. It's going to be. You're going to need someone like Foden or Grealish on that pitch from the start. I don't think you can start with that.
I don't think he'll do that though.
But maybe we're underestimating Southgate. Maybe we're underestimating Gareth Moyes, right? Maybe he sees this, and maybe this is the long game. Maybe it's the group stages. and he was always going to play the same team twice again, Iran and USA, and then going into Wales, just get enough points to get through, and then he'll surprise everyone by pulling the little rabbits out the hat in the knockout stages.
John Bellingham.
Am I boring you?
Quickly, look, Danny Martinez just said he's got people over from Cheshire and Middlesbrough. So Dan, call your Middlesbrough mate a smoggy. But make sure you're not within punching range. So they smoggies, they don't like it, them smoggies. And ask him, did he work at ICI? There you go.
Of course he did, Nigel. Of course he did.
They all worked at ICI.
Everyone works at ICI in Middlesbrough.
What is ICI?
Right, John Bellingham.
Yeah, he was disappointing, wasn't he? Especially after the performance he put in against Iran. He was overall disappointing. Did he deserve to get pulled off? Really? More than anyone else? Probably
Usually
not.
He gets half an orange, doesn't he?
But he's only 19, isn't he? But I don't know. I'd say 5. I felt he was running around a bit like a headless chicken as well.
He was.
If I'm honest. He was just chasing shadows. He didn't really, Yeah, 5. I don't like to do it. He's only a kid, isn't he? But yeah, he's got.
Yeah, you got to call it right. He just wasn't good today. He wasn't good, right?
No. Yeah, I'm going to pull.
But he's a great player. He's a great player.
I'm going to pull Sterling down to make space. So Nigel, flappy hands, Sterling. What was your opinion on Sterling?
I'd like to have an opinion on Sterling, but I can't because I can't think of anything he did. And to be honest, it weren't until one of you boys mentioned him in the WhatsApp chat that I'm scaring my TV going,
I know.
So I was trying to eat with Chinese. I just got him to work his kick off. And I went, is he playing?
Yeah,
so I'm afraid, and I can't believe I'm going to do this, but saddle up that camel.
He's getting a 4. There you go.
The first camel of the World Cup.
Gary, I will say, Gary, you called this.
And he was
Gary, you called this on
I did call
Gary
it.
called this. You called this on the last show. You said Sterling was going to get the first camel.
I love that. I love that camel.
With the jazz hands.
That's World Crop, Nick. That's fucking good. That's good.
Oh,
right. So, Gary, you can have the other sort of bit of a non-event today. Saka.
Well.
Oh, honestly, again, like Mount, I thought he tried hard. I thought he put in the effort. He wasn't lacking effort. Unlike Sterling, who was lacking effort, right? Saka tried, but Saka was absolutely marked out of the game by the USA defense, right? They didn't give him a fucking inch. And with Saka, if you let him run at you, you're just asking for trouble, and he will cause trouble. If you shut him down, then don't really know what to do. I don't think it's his fault today, so I'm going to give him a 5. I ain't going to give him a camel head. I'm going to give him a 5.
Oh, really? He was awful.
Yeah, but he was still better than Sterling.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm going to go on Kane because I've always wanted to do this. I thought Kane was every bit as useless as Sterling, and he missed 2 gilt-edged chances. So for me, he's getting a 4, and he's getting a fucking camel. He's having.
And I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, Nick. That first chance that he missed, where the defender slid in and blocked it, right?
Yeah.
Surely, what he's got to do there is just give it a little touch, take it round, and he's got an open goal.
Why the better looking, actually, isn't it?
He saw the fucking defender. He saw the defender sliding in. He saw the defender sliding in. Why did he just play it against the block, right? Because that's basically what he did.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did anyone see the interview with apparently Southgate after the game? I didn't see it, but this is what one of the pundits said, where he turned around and said he was pleased with the way we attacked from the back.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, what he said he was pleased with the way that we controlled it at the back. He said, but he did say what we've said. He said Stones and Maguire were very good tonight. They were confident with the ball at their feet, but the problem was they had no one to pass it to. And when they did pass it, we lost it. So I sort of got what he was saying, but he was building it up a little bit too much. He was actually saying He was actually saying that our centre backs were our best attackers in a way. Because
do you think when he's talking Southgate, he's developing a kind of Inspector Dreyfus type twitch? I think he is. I'm sorry,
he's getting nervous. He's getting nervous. John, you can take the 3 subs. What do you reckon? Start with Henderson.
I thought Henderson, when he came on, was trying to rally the troops. Look, he's not going to. After people don't rate him, I like him. He was pushing forward. He was trying to play forward. He was calling them up to press. I thought he did all right when he came on. I'd give him a 6.
6. Okay.
Grealish for me, when he came on, made a huge difference because his first thing to do is when he gets on the ball is to drive at people, and we had none of that the whole game.
They replaced their fullback after he came on, didn't they? Dest came off.
Yeah. Well, because the other fullback was knackered, and I think he would have probably got a couple of yellow cards against him. Is his name Dest? Yeah. He's a good player, but he's got a nasty side about him. I don't like him.
Yeah. His nickname's Office. So
oh God help me. Do we have to bring him back with these poor jokes on this Friday night? So for me, I'm going to judge him on his performance. I think he was better. I'll give him a 7. I know he was only on the pitch for half an hour.
Yeah, or so. I agree with that.
But I think he did more in that half an hour than Sterling definitely did, and probably more than Saka did in half the time. So for me, 7.
And again, going back to that Dest, because that's reminding me of something. Do you remember when that Dest was running through and who was it he lost? He lost Shaw, didn't he? And he was exposed one-on-one with Maguire, and Maguire dealt with that perfectly, didn't he? Made himself big, poked the ball away when that Dest was running at him.
Yeah.
He done everything right today, Maguire.
Rashford for me was. I don't think Rashford did anything, if I'm honest. I don't remember him touching the ball even when he came on. But
I thought he was direct. He was forward thinking. You know.
Yeah, I don't know if he was.
He went on for long enough to give him a 4. So
no, I won't give him. I'll give him a 6. I'll give him an average score.
Yeah,
and he looks after the kids.
He does look after the kids. Gets them fed, doesn't he? Gets them fed. Gets some meals. Yeah,
it does. Right, Nigel. I'm going to give you Southgate. Go on. I'll let you get stuck into Southgate.
That's fucking harsh.
Can I just
say anything I say here cannot be used against me in the defence of David Moyes?
Yeah. Can I just say, Nigel, when we were talking in the WhatsApp today, you said, fucking hell, all this sideways moving, all this sideways passing, doing my head in. And also, can I just point out, he made his substitutions on 70 minutes exactly the same as Moyes.
He did.
Well, Moyes normally goes for 60 for the first one, but you're right. There was a lot of. I mean, how do you judge a manager? 1, how you set the team up to begin with. 2, how you deal with it at half time, because at the end of the day, at half time, your half time team talk is probably the most important team talk you're going to give, especially when you're playing the way we were. We came out, we were worse.
Yeah.
The first 10, 15 minutes of the second half was actually the worst period of play that we had. So he obviously failed to inspire the team. And to be honest, his substitutions were a bit late and didn't inspire me. I'm going to give him... do I? Don't I?
Go on.
I'm going to give him... Yeah.
Did he give you the ump? Did he give you the ump?
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 3.
Oh, yes, Nige.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Nige.
Look at him on mute. Look.
There you go.
2 camels.
He's definitely better looking with a camel on his head. He is.
What's happened to Nigel? That nasty streak, giving freezer and camels. What's going on here?
Right. So I don't think there's any debate on the man of the match, is there?
By a mile, Harry Maguire.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
I'd love him at West Ham. I know that's going to shock the room.
No, I'd have him at West Ham tomorrow.
Considering Zuma's out for about 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Because I thought there was no timeline on his.
If you look at what he's had done, I think that's a minimum.
Right. Bloody.
There was. I did get a whisper of February. So that's what I'm basing it on.
Oh my God!
That's all right. Just in time for Conference League return. Love it.
Moyes would be long gone by then, wouldn't he, Nick?
Look at
February.
I hope so.
The Killer Brothers. Look.
Yeah. Fucking hope so. Right.
Fucking hell. If these were Romans.
Off with his head.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's the best gladiator ever. Don't care. Fuck him.
He's got amazing stats. Yeah. But he's fucking boring. Throw him to the lions.
Oh. Kill him.
Kill him. Imagine him in with the Lions. What would his tactic be to stay
Oh,
alive?
what would
in the Coliseum?
He'd go flat back 4 against the Lions, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Midfield 5.
Fuck.
God.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to put the number
We
up in a
wouldn't
minute.
put him
so
to the
people can
soul,
call
What
in.
is this? What is this? What is Danny talking about here?
I know this is it. Miami Dolphins. Fins up.
What?
What's that? What's
I
that,
don't-
Danny?
Is that like
Is that fins up?
that? Is that
That's Sterling.
is it?
Fins up.
Oh, right. I thought. All right. I was just
Been
wondering.
Americanized.
Your fins are like here, and or is it your back? Is it like that? Fucking-
Right.
Is it like
Any of you
Miami
lovely
Dolphins
people-
used to have Flipper swimming round on the edge of the pitch, and you're like,
They
Right,
did.
is
that
They did,
Flipper?
'cause
Yeah.
They did. Yeah. Yeah.
A Skippy,
right.
not Flipper.
no, Skipper's
Anyone
a
in the
kangaroo.
chat?
American football. I don't know.
Because I don't know how many people are going to want to phone in. So do us a favour, help us out a bit. Put some questions in the chat as well. Anything you'd like us to discuss,
Yeah.
or anything, stick.
Don't wind Nick
yeah.
up. Don't wind Nick up. Don't
You can wind me
don't
up.
call in.
I can't
I'll
get
tell you what.
wound up. I haven't got the same passion level.
I'm going to say to the audience now,
right?
right? Don't call in when someone else is already called in, because that
I've turned
just
call wait
winds
enough.
Nick up
I've turned call
massively.
wait enough. It can't happen. Did you say that, Nigel?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
That's when we weren't talking, Nick.
Oh yeah. You missed a good one. You missed a good one.
48 hours silent treatment.
Yeah, hang on.
He never not talks to me. That's the fucking annoying thing.
I do.
You don't. You fucking. If I leave a group, you message me privately. And go, you okay, hun? And take the piss even more.
Well, I worry about your mental health, John. I'll try and
Yeah.
give you pep talks.
Yeah, I don't need it
hang
from
on.
you muppet. John says, I didn't know this was on. He's angry. Dave McNulty
Sorry,
says,
John.
Dave McNulty, have these guys been drinking?
A little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah,
See,
yeah, a little bit.
I've not had a drop of
Little bit.
alcohol at all. So,
Have you not?
No, Lawrence,
I've
don't
been
let
ill,
Lawrence
mate.
call. Do
So,
not let Lawrence call. I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
Why? He needs to give you because I think Nigel. He's going to take umbrage with Nigel, isn't he, Lawrence?
I'm joking. Of course he can phone. Don't be silly.
bring it
What
on.
we got here? Absolutely right. Is this Moyes in disguise? Playing not to lose and nick something late on against the USA for fuck's sake. Oh, do fuck off.
Yeah, that's right, Ipdex.
It don't take long for fans to change. And it was winning.
That sounds like some foreign exchange app, doesn't it?
I know, it does, doesn't it? It does, it does.
Download this text and buy your
See, the
Bitcoin.
thing is,
Yeah.
what this should be, Nigel. What this World Cup break, it should serve as a welcome break from West Ham for us fans. But when we witness what we witnessed today, it's just a constant reminder of David Moyes. When you see when you see Southgate,
You
it's a reminder.
relate everything
It's a
back to
reminder.
Moyes. Everything goes
But
back to Moyes.
the most West Ham England game I ever went to
Exactly.
was when Wembley was being redeveloped, and we played Australia at Upton Park.
Oh yeah,
Right,
terrible.
and we
That
lost.
was a
I think
bad
it was
game, wasn't
Rooney's
it?
first appearance. We lost 3-1 to
3-1.
Australia.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think England's goal was scored by the other Evertonian who went to Arsenal. whose
Franny
name
Jeffers.
escapes me.
Franny
Franny
Jeffers.
Jeffers.
Yeah.
And that was the season we got relegated in 2003. But this was in the November of 2002, and we still hadn't won an home game. So I went to the game hoping to see us win at home. I remember walking out going, fuck me, it was like watching West Ham that game.
Yeah.
West Ham and England's fortunes have sort of mirrored each other. What's
Yeah.
England's
They have
best
a
thing they've
bit.
ever done? They've done nothing since the 60s, but we've been to a final recently. Well, sounds like West Ham, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We look most threatening from
I know.
corners, exactly like the first and second season in Moyes. See what I mean? Everything goes back to Moyes, doesn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's going to though, and it's going to come round again, isn't it? But we can wait. We can wait a few weeks.
But we've got the
can't wait.
Moyes out bandwagon leader here, so we've got the driver of the bandwagon.
Oh, Nigel on his bandwagon. Look, stick your bandwagon up your arse. There ain't no bandwagon. Yeah,
No, it
Nigel in
ain't
his
a
cloak,
bandwagon.
and his
Nigel,
little
it ain't
cloaked coat that he's got.
No, it ain't a bandwagon. It's a brigade.
Do you know, I walked
that's
into
it,
my
brigade.
local, I go in a cafe in Clerkenwell. You'd love it, Nick. This cafe owner, there's two cafe owners sit on Clerkenwell Square, two Italian brothers with their London.
Clerkenwell Green, you mean? There's no such place as Clerkenwell Square.
Yeah, well, it's on the
Yeah,
square.
but I know what you mean in the
Green,
square. I've been
Clerkenwell
there.
Green.
I know the one you
Yeah,
mean.
so-
I know the one you
So
mean.
it's two brothers. One supports Leeds, one supports West
Yeah.
Ham. The one that supports West Ham is unique. Yeah, if you it's you. Hey, I walked in there. I've been off work, so I've been on holiday in Hill, and they hadn't seen me. He said, "How you been?" All right. And his brother come out and went, "Well," and I went, "No." And he went, "Oh, if you can't be fucking Moyes out after watching that last shit again, you fucking lost calls." He stormed back in the fucking kitchen.
Nigel, what do you have in there? Do you go for the chicken and scallop?
Yeah,
the
that's
toasted
it,
panini?
yeah.
That's what I get. That's what I get in now.
Yeah. They laughed because I walked in there and they had all cups lined up, and there was like Millwall, Arsenal, Dagenham, and Redbridge, Woodford Town. And I went, "Where's your West Ham cup?" And I went, "Oh, we ain't got one." The next day, I pulled up. I weren't even working. I've made one. I went, "I'll put that on your fucking shelf." I got a fucking West Ham mug in there. Sal's, I think it's called. But no, it's a fucking blinding cap if you're on Clark and Will.
It is a good one. It is very good.
The one near the pub, isn't it? The one near the pub.
There is a pub on the corner, yeah.
There is a pub on the corner, yeah.
Yeah.
I know which one.
But yeah, have we got any questions from the chat, or has everyone completely nutty sort of had the life sucked out of them by that game? Watching but can't call. That's Danny. Surprised? No, I've been. Surprised Nick hasn't broken out of red wine as yet. I've been having a little drink, but I thought I'd stop for the show. But how far do you think we're going to go anyway, Nigel? Sort of talking about the tournament now. Quarterfinals.
I did think semi-final.
What's our possible route as well? Because if we go through top of the the group, do we kind of avoid the likes of fucking Spain and teams like that?
Well, no. So go on. It's either Netherlands or Ecuador or Senegal.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So at the end of the day, the Netherlands ain't looking all that.
No.
Ecuador look half decent, even though they've only got one goal scorer apparently for the last 8 years in World Cups, called Enner Valencia. And Senegal sort of blow hot and cold. So, funny enough, a bit like England. So, I could see us actually getting through either of those three teams. I can see England getting through against either of those three teams. Then we go into the quarterfinals, and I think it was France, possibly. Now, the first 15 minutes against Australia, you thought, "Oh, hello, someone's got a World Cup hangover," and then all of a sudden, they woke up. And
can I just say, Enner Valencia today, he equaled the record of 6 goals in a row in the World Cup for his national team. He is one of 4 players who has done that. So Enner Valencia, our former player, Enner Valencia, is alongside Solenko from USA 94 for Russia. And then it gets better. Paolo Rossi for Italy. Legend. Eusebio.
Jesus. Yeah, but the thing is, you can't fall for that trick, because that's how we signed him last time. He's a tournament player, isn't he? He's a good international player.
Yeah. No, but it's amazing, isn't it? What amazing stats.
It is, yeah.
Did we not sign him? When did he play for in 2014? Was he playing for us already? Did we sign him after that World Cup?
We signed him after that World Cup. We signed him after the World Cup. Yeah, and he looked all right in that and all.
Well, he scored all 3 of that. That's the thing. That's when he scored. He scored 3 goals in 3 games in 2014. They didn't qualify for 2018. Yeah. And now he's got another 3 goals in 2 games. He's done it for his country, but he just, I
looked into his stats. His stats at club level are not that great.
No, they're not. They're not.
Not
Should
at all.
Should we talk about what's happened this week in the World Cup, because we're on a World Cup show, right? Let's talk.
Just answer this question first. Whoever wants to go for it. Nigel, who's impressed you the most so far in this tournament? For me, it's Spain. I'm going to go Spain. I thought that was outrageous.
The Spain game, I heard on the radio, and I must admit I didn't see the highlights. I suppose France and Brazil.
Okay. There are some strong teams this year, aren't there? There are some strong teams. It's going to be very difficult for us.
I hate doing this, and it's the second time tonight, right? But I've got to say that Spain look fucking spectacular.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah, but any team that scores 7 is going to look we look spectacular.
We scored 6 against Iran. We scored 6 against Iran.
Nigel, they looked legitimately. It was like prime Barcelona. The way they was knocking the ball about, it was ridiculous. You know, the other team couldn't get the ball off of them.
I think what I was impressed, listening to it on the radio and whatever, was the fact that the goals came from right across the team. Like I think a couple of subs come on and got a couple of goals as well. And if you've got that ability, if you can have, what was it? Was it 6 different goal scorers? 5 or 6 different goal scorers?
I think it was 6. I think it was
6 different goal scorers. That says there's a lot of ability in that team, isn't there?
Yes.
But then again, you know, I can think back to past World Cups. I think Honduras got beat 10-1 once by a team, or El Salvador, you know?
Yeah.
That team didn't go on to win the World Cup. I remember Russia, I think, beat Spain or the other way around 5-1 in Mexico 86. They didn't go on to win it in Mexico. I mean, Mexico, if you look at Italia 90, Argentina got to the final. Could say unlucky to lose, soft penalty. I think it was Bremer that scored it for Germany. They lost 1-0. Well, they got beat by Cameroon in the first game, 1-0. And that was when we all thought Africans were shit until that Cameroon team turned up.
That was a bit of a fairy tale for them, wasn't it? That was brilliant, wasn't it?
It just goes to show you, though, that actually losing your first game and generally being poor in group stages, Italy in 82, I think Italy in 82 were in a group where every game was drawn.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And then
that would have been Nick's favourite group.
Then they get to play like Brazil, and a Paolo Rossi hat-trick later, they're up and running. You know, he gets 2 goals and a goal. In the final.
I think what I take from this World Cup so far is that there's a lot of players hanging on to their careers, and they've been brought to the World Cup. And I know we're only 1 and 2 games in, but I mean, you know, like Gareth Bale. Wales are just carrying Gareth Bale and Ramsey. You know,
where is Bale even playing now?
In America.
LA. They got to the final. I think they may have won it.
Hang on,
he came on and scored in the final. I think
you can't take anything from you know. Oh,
hello, John. How are you, mate? Hang on, Gary. I've got a call. This is Jonathan, who was coined Russell Brand a few weeks ago from a few.
Russell.
Oh yeah, we love Russell Brand.
How are you, John?
Quite an honour. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, man. Yeah, pretty good. How are you guys?
Yeah, no, we're all good, mate. We're kind of over that bore fest that we all just watched. But
where's Jonathan
as you're a Moyes in man, you probably enjoyed that game, didn't you?
Oh, fuck.
Classic Moyes.
Where's Jonathan from? You're supposed to introduce him. Jonathan from where?
Listen, hang on. Got the clean sheet. Qualified for the next group, or whatever it is.
Very pragmatic.
We lose 4-0.
Yeah,
he's right. He's hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, but if we go by the Moyes, if we go by the old Moyes, we ain't losing 4-0, are we? We'll scrape through against Wales.
No.
Turn Jonathan, it on in the next round.
What is your favourite upset this week? Is it Saudi Arabia beating Argentina on their own patch? Is it Japan beating Germany? Or is it Iran beating Wales? What's your favourite upset this week?
I don't really care, if I'm honest.
I'm the same.
Oh, didn't your juices start flowing when you saw Iran today? Fucking brilliant, wasn't it?
I'm not feeling the World Cup yet. I'm still not, Gary.
No, I'm
not. You're so fickle, my God.
I've only called in for a chat. I haven't even really got a point to make. I mean, I guess I want on a broader thing. Honestly, in memory, the only 2 international tournaments I've really enjoyed. I mean, I've been excited for other ones, but I've only really enjoyed 1990. I thought it was a brilliant tournament. Loved it.
Fantastic.
And 96.
Best tournament ever.
96.
Yeah. Well, another best tournament ever.
Fantastic. International football is pretty boring to me now, honestly. And the knockout, not the knockout stages. Knockout stages get exciting, but all the build up, like breaking off the Premier League for these rubbish, rubbish, and then the group stages are pretty shit as well. Really, I couldn't really. The reason why I don't care about Japan Germany is because I don't care about Japan Germany.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like, okay,
but
all those teams
see,
have lost in the first round. They'll probably get through.
But Jonathan, didn't you see that bloke in the last fucking minute, couple of minutes before the end, fucking takes the ball down, beautiful first touch, cuts inside, and then hits the ball in at the near post. The keeper has to get it, but doesn't. Nigel would have got it because he used to be a keeper, right? Fucking let it in, top of the net. What a fantastic finish. You couldn't help but be inspired by that. And also Iran were magnificent today. Magnificent.
1990. John, your favourite's 1990, yeah? So
that's my favourite.
I was 9 years old.
England's group stage, second game, I think we drew 1-1 with the Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, we struggled against
Egypt. Not a good game. We limped over the line by beating Egypt, I think, to get out of the group.
Mark Wright header.
Yeah.
Because Nigel, no one remembers the group stage.
No, and that's the
thing. No one gives a fuck about the group stage.
Go into this last 16.
They're boring.
Belgium with the last kick of the game.
Stages are boring. The group stages are boring because we absolutely have to win. We should get through. So it's a bit like, oh, come on, just get the job done. Unless you win 6-2, like we did the other day, it is pretty boring. Everything else is just like, do you know what I mean? It's like a League Cup game against Oldham.
One of our regular callers, Jonathan, last week, he said, he made the point that would it be good if it was just straight into knockout stages straight away
yes, it would. Great. It would be so intense. Could you imagine if it was just straight away knockout? It would be so intense. It'd be so much more. I can't be asked. I really can't be asked. In fact, this actually shines a light on Europa League, the conference. What is the point? What is the actual point? Well,
all
it's done is.
If we win
because if we win it, we get into Europa League.
Right. Yeah, we get into Europa League.
No. I like the Conference League. No. I've got nothing against the Conference League. I mean, what was the point of us playing these 6 games that we easily won?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's actually it hasn't done anything, has it? Really, it's just pointless. Really,
if you understand it, what they've done is instead of doing what they intended to do originally, which was get the shit teams knocked out and let the good teams play each other, they've ended up spreading the shit teams amongst the good teams, so that everyone has to play in a group of shit and good teams. Right? If you see what I'm saying, and then when you have to play 6 games. 6 games, meaningless games, because the Premier League is head and shoulders above every fucking league in Europe, right? So it is a waste of our time turning up. They should have given us a bite.
That's a bit harsh. But I mean, the mad thing is when you look at it, the team that gets relegated from the Premier League earns more prize money than the winners of Serie A.
Right. Deservedly so, though, Nigel, right?
Yeah.
Well, because when Norwich banked that 120 million, and I think it was AC Milan banked there like 95 million winning Serie A.
It is mental, isn't it? It is mental.
What you see there is why they want the Super League. Why they want the Super League.
Of course they do. They know where their bread's buttered.
Hang on, Gal.
I was going to say, I could be wrong, but I again, I could be wrong financially, but in my mind, the biggest game in the world each year is the playoff final.
Yeah,
it is. I think it's got to be. It's got to be.
That's probably the richest game.
Not the most popular.
That's the biggest. It's the biggest prize. It's the biggest prize, isn't it?
It's probably the richest game in the world. When you work out that the first season is worth fuck knows how much.
120 million minimum.
Well, if you're a regular, so you're not on the payments that you get when you go down. So imagine you're a side like Nottingham Forest who are being promoted for the first time. Is it only 120 million or is it more?
120 million for finishing bottom.
Yeah. All right, so you get 120 million for finishing bottom, and then you get 2 years of parachute payments.
Yep.
So total value, 250 million?
No,
180 million.
Yeah, I think that's what it's valued at. It might be nudging 200 million now.
So one game of football worth 200 million. If you sign 700 players like Forest, you ain't going to make too much of a profit. But not everyone does that, right? You know, a lot of people.
I'm starting to wonder. The other
day,
one of my friends sent me some statistics not statistics, just information about in the Championship. There's like 6 teams, 6 or 7. Where the owners are worth a minimum of like 2 billion. Like QPR, their owners worth 15.9 billion. Jesus. There's actually money to be made. There's money to be made languishing in the Championship if you develop players and sell them. That's
Yeah,
actually,
that's true.
I can't believe
That's
it. That's actually mental.
No,
You know
no.
the-
What
a
you got to look
investor,
at, yeah,
What-
sorry,
Go on,
Nick.
is that you better get more value for money by buying a Nottingham Forest. How much did it cost Nottingham Forest to get promoted? 80 million to assemble
Exactly.
the team.
Yeah.
Done, isn't it? That's done.
Yeah.
Could go
That's
down
what I
and
mean.
got all his money.
You
back.
could be in the Championship and just pay lower wages and then sell players, not great players, like, players of potential for Premier League money because they're English, and you can make a nice like 30-50 million a year on that alone.
The whole academy system. So I know I'm not trying to, but obviously my boy plays academy football for a team, and he's 11. Because he's been at his club for 3 seasons, he's only 11. He's going into his 4th season. If a club were to come in for him, they work out how much money they've invested, training, the coaches they pay. He'd be technically, they have to give him they have to buy him at 11, 15 grand at that age.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to get at is the clubs lower down, as much as they want to get promoted and all that, they know what mostly keeps their clubs afloat is player sales.
It's the academies. It's
and if they can produce, I know it's not rocket science, but if they can produce, players from their academy, these League One, Championship, League Two, and sell them on at a fee, they're quids in. So they're happy with that, So it's all the money maker.
What I was going to say is, Jonathan, because obviously, listen, the last time we weren't going to touch on Moyes today, so I'm not going to go in.
No, I'm on the show. I'm on the show.
Yeah, but we did say you was going to phone back in if the end of the season went the way you said it wasn't going to go, and it went that way.
Well, it hasn't gone. That's not the end of the season, is it?
No, the end. No, before the World Cup break, you said.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, you did say before the World Cup break.
Fair point.
So before the World Cup break, so it's gone the way you said it categorically would not go. So what are you saying now?
Well, I didn't expect us to lose to Palace and then Leicester.
Yeah.
I didn't, and that's a bloody shocker, to be honest with you. I mean, look, I've got to be a realist in this one. I'm not Moyes out because I'm just like I'm not Moyes out as in like, oh yeah, he's got to go or we're doomed. I don't believe that. I don't think that's the case.
But if he was replaced, would you be heartbroken?
I wouldn't be heartbroken, but I'd be. No, I wouldn't be heartbroken.
You're not Moyes out, but are you Moyes in?
Are you Moyes in?
Am I Moyes in? I'm.
Or are you on the fence?
No. Look, okay, no. There's 3 levels. Like, if we keep him, which I understand is definitely not popular opinion, and I'm not Moyes in as in I want us 100% want it. If we keep him and he turns it around, I'll be delighted, and it's not beyond the realms of possibility. I mean, with Everton, if you look at it, he I think his first season he did really well. The second season he finished 17th.
They were lucky not to get relegated the second season. They were lucky not to get relegated.
They were lucky, but after that, he never dropped.
But would you want to take that risk of us finishing 17th and because that's a fucking risk, isn't it?
Well, it's not about what I want or don't want. I'm answering the question as in if we keep Moyes, which is not my decision. So it's not my. Look, put it this way: if it was my decision, there's two answers to this, right?
People power, Jonathan. It is our decision.
If the board, hang on. If the board keeps Moyes and he turns it around, that's my number one scenario. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
If there's a manager available, which is not like, I don't mean to be rude, but is not if we can't get like a really, really good manager, then I'm not desperate to make a change. We've got to get a good manager.
So if we can get a manager, you're Moyes out.
I didn't say Moyes.
I'll let them put words in your mouth, Jonathan. Stand your ground, son. Stand your ground.
Do you know what, Nigel? You're probably one of my favourite people. You stick to your point. Now, listen, I'm not Moyes out. Am I disappointed? I'm very, very disappointed in Moyes this season. I am. I'm just saying,
So what would it take for you to be Moyes out, Jonathan?
Why has it got to take something?
What more do you need to see? What more do you need to see, Jonathan?
The thing is, it's going to be quite embarrassing. If he turns it around, it's going to be really embarrassing for you, man.
It's not. It's not. I've already got a mask made up, and I'm going to come back as Mick.
No, Nick's already said that he'll come back as the biggest Moyes in person you've ever met.
I've got no pride, mate. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Do you know what it is though? Is like I'm not. Look, he's not a shit manager. He's done very poorly this season so far.
He's good at some things. He ain't good at what we're trying to do now.
Yeah, he ain't shit. No one's saying he's shit.
We're moving on to another phase. So what he's good at, let me explain to you what I think he's good at, Jonathan. He is good at being in a shit situation. When he was at Everton, he was in a shit situation for 10 years. He worked with no money every year. He's having to cobble players together on a budget. That's what he likes doing. He likes being the underdog. The minute that David Moyes has resource, and when you've got resources, that means you have expectation. That's where the problem is. That's what happened when he went to Man United. He struggled, and he was great when he came to us. When he can cobble players together, go and find Craig Dawson.
One of the best win records, Man United in the Premier League since Ferguson.
But as Nigel said there,
it was rubbish football. It was terrible what he was doing there. It was awful.
The thing is about it.
Did you watch him week in, week out?
No, he
didn't. But the thing is about it, right? If I want, look, I'll get behind any manager because I'm a West Ham fan, right? If I want if the manager, let's say we replace Moyes with a manager I like, I'm going to back the manager, but I'll forget about Moyes quickly, and I'll be like, right, let's get behind this guy.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. When we got Pellegrini, I wasn't interested in Pellegrini from the beginning, right? No. So it was very easy for me to be Pellegrini out because I didn't like him. So I do understand your position, Nick, because you were never.
I don't like Moyes.
No. Nick wasn't impressed with Moyes from the offset.
Exactly. When we brought Moyes in, I was happy about Moyes because of our last call. I explained to you, I respect Moyes. I've always respected him. But so what I'm saying to you is, whether if we sack him or not, I won't lose respect for the guy. Like I'm not Moyes out, as in the sense of he is useless. I'm just like if he's fat, if he can't deliver what we need, he's got to go. And we'll get someone else in. With Pellegrini, I always thought, this guy's in China. He's like 70 years old, and I didn't want him at West Ham, so I was definitely get rid of this guy.
Jonathan,
not that way.
Jonathan, can I give you a scenario?
Yes.
Listen,
please do.
We lose against Arsenal, right?
Yep.
We lose against Brentford. Yep. The atmosphere turns toxic, which is very likely at home to Brentford. Yes. If we don't start well, the crowd will turn.
Yeah.
And then we do the unthinkable and we go and lose away to Leeds and we are cemented in that bottom three. Half the season is gone. It's a way worse start than what we had under Pellegrini. Are you still Moyes in?
I'm not Moyes in now, am I? I just told you that.
Listen what he said. He's saying to you.
No, he's not Moyes out.
I believe
don't put words in his mouth. He said he's not Moyes in, he's not Moyes out.
Hang on, I respect, let me speak. I respect David Moyes. I think he can turn it around. If it gets to a point where it's obvious he can't turn it around, the board will get rid of him. It's not my decision.
No.
I don't have to be Moyes out, do I?
No.
Because it won't be my. It's not. He'll be sacked. It's business. Nick, it's business.
I know.
They're going to get.
I honestly think
he'll be fired. It doesn't matter. I don't have to go on record going, "I'm out." You get him out. He's shit. Yeah. I don't believe it.
I know we argue, Nick. I know we argue a lot, and I don't think you understand. There's a large group of West Ham fans who basically believe back the manager until he's sacked, and then I'll back the next manager. I did draw the line with Sam Allardyce, but the day Sam Allardyce was appointed, I was on KUMB saying this is the fucking.
So was you happy Pellegrini got sacked, Nigel?
Listen, I weren't bothered. The Pellegrini was sacked. They brought back Moyes. Pellegrini's gone. I didn't want Pellegrini.
Why didn't we back Pellegrini?
Well, I don't know. That's up to the owners.
Manager,
I thought they pulled the trigger too quick.
Every manager that we've fired in recent times, by the time they've fired them, I've been absolutely in favour of firing them. That goes for Zola,
guess who's
Pellegrini,
fourth in the Spanish league?
Kirbishley, fucking all those.
Pellegrini,
Yeah. Well, maybe he is, but that's the Spanish league.
And you know who's got
Premier
playing?
League's very different, isn't it?
Do you know who's got playing?
Who's he got playing? Go on.
A certain player who's playing for Portugal called William Carvalho, and if you remember
he hasn't
the saga when we tried to buy William Carvalho and the facts from so he did finally get his man. See?
The trouble with us is, if by the time those managers had left or been sacked, I've been desperate for them to be sacked, but. It's kind of choosing early, right? It's choosing early. They've left it too late for each and every one of those managers. They've left it to the point where it's fucking terrible, and that's what I don't want to happen with Moyes. That's what I do not want to happen. No, let me finish. Let me finish.
It's not speculative at this point. We've been shit for a while.
I don't want this to happen with Moyes.
You can't go public like We went for Poch. We went for Tuchel. They didn't want it. You totally undermine the manager. We don't know what they're doing behind the scenes.
No, absolutely right.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
Right.
I agree with you.
They were going for Pellegrini for 6 months. We didn't know about that, did we? They were going for Pellegrini while Bilic was in the job. We didn't have it in the paper.
No,
you're right.
Yeah.
Deal.
No, I agree. No,
Jonathan,
my belief is that they are out there now looking for the next manager. That is my belief.
That's what I think. I agree.
That's your hope. That's your hope.
No, that's my belief. That's my belief. That is my belief.
You're probably right. You could be right.
And that's what I've been saying. I've said the official line from the club will always be, they will never say we don't back this manager. In fact, when they say we back this manager, for me, that is when they don't back the fucking manager.
But the thing is, though, what you said, though, the scenario you said earlier, and it is a fair point. If we lose our next 3 games, right, I'm going to think, right, this isn't working. He's got to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
but that's at the point of too late, though, right? You know,
you're saying. You're making a point. Now would be a fair point of. You're making a fair point of, hang on a minute, if we brought someone in now, they'd have this month to work with the squad.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, they might, up until the Leicester game, they may not have, they may have given, the problem is, we don't know, I personally don't know how quickly it takes to get a new manager in. They may be doing this now. This month, maybe they're getting
But if we let Moyes go now, it'll be a kind of thank you very much for your service. You've been fantastic.
He's not there anyway, Gary. He's in Qatar.
No, goodbye. Thank you for the memories. You've been brilliant, Dave. Instead, what's going to happen is it's going to go on for another 4 to 6 games to the point where we fucking hate David Moyes and he's going to be hounded out of the club. I think that is an insult to his legacy.
You use the word
the results are bad, but the results
not as
could
many
be
people
good.
as you think that are going to hate him. There's not as many people.
I think if it goes too far,
not hate him is all I'm saying is I won't personally. I won't. But there'll be a lot of people over there who will. Right,
but I tell you what it could be is it could end sour.
They'll turn on a sixpence, right? These people, you give it another 4 to 6 games, and we have a fucking terrible run. They're going to start giving him abuse, and I don't want to see that for David Moyes. I want to see David Moyes have a nice, respected legacy, right? You know, Nick even wants this.
It should be. You've done a great job. Which I do, Nigel. I've been saying it for ages.
No, you can't have a nice.
No, you can't. No. Do you know what? No, do you know what?
That's the respected legacy. You get fired before the World Cup. Thanks very much. That's like that's saying to your wife, "We've had a nice run," but.
Yeah,
just before
you
Christmas. Sorry, love.
Shit
But,
dinners
thank
on
you.
the roll.
What I'm saying here, this is my thinking as well, Jonathan. Like you said earlier on, it's all about going out there and attracting the right manager, a better manager. Well, you've got more chance of attracting that manager the earlier you go because you've got more preparation. So what we're saying is we're going to sacrifice 9 more points and throw them into the team when we're banging a relegation battle and the fixture list is congested to fuck.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, though, Nick? Well, hang on 1 second. I'm just going to put this as a thought experiment. Let's just say, we don't know if this is happening or not, right? Would you say this is right or wrong? Thought experiment. Sorry. If
he's too clever, this bloke.
But hang on. If right now they've said to David Moyes, you've got 3 games to sort yourself out, right? But this month they're looking at other managers. In the premise of he doesn't sort himself out. Is that not a logical thing to do rather than sack him now?
No, for
me, we can't get the.
Can I ask you something, Jonathan? Jonathan, do you agree with the 3-game thing? Nigel, do you agree with the 3-game thing?
No.
I think you've already made your mind up at this point that manager is. You've made your mind up. All you're doing is you're resetting the cycle all the time because what happens if
I'm not.
No, but what I mean is, Jonathan, what happens if he scrapes? What happens if he scrapes a 1-0 win against Leeds?
Yeah, but hang on. If you've got a ship with a captain on it, you don't say to the captain, like, throw him overboard and then we'll find a new one. You're going to keep the captain until you get a new one.
It's difficult to do that when you're in the middle of the ocean, though.
Well, Captain Bligh on the band is put overboard. So
you start interviewing the other pirates until you get a candidate you like. You throw the other one off the plank. What I'm saying is, you've got David Moyes there for this 3-game thing.
Brilliant.
For all we know, hang on, 1 minute. Do you remember when Bilic got sacked?
A pirate.
Didn't he win his last game? Didn't Bilic get sacked? It was already planned. Like,
it was pre-planned. He was gone. Yeah, it was. You're right.
Yeah, so was Allardyce.
Their mind is made up. They're looking for someone else, 100%. However, let me put this to you. Now, Nigel is going to completely disagree with this. I listened to the U-Irons. I listened to the U-Irons podcast with Sam Delaney and
hope you paid for it.
Is it Rashawn from the Athletic, Gary?
Oh, no,
Rashane.
yeah.
Rashane from the Athletic.
Rashane.
Right, and
Yeah,
basically,
Sam
now
fan.
Rashane, now, even though he is a journalist, he isn't one for fucking peddling shit on Twitter like some people. He's not. He kind of he's a respectable football journalist, Rashane.
He's like
My
you.
mate ain't even a journalist, so fucking go on, crack on.
He's a respectable football journalist. But he did say he didn't drop any names. But what they was doing was they was having a conversation on there, and they was talking about the Kretinsky, the sale. And basically, when they said we're expecting Golden Sullivan to sell to Kretinsky in the summer, Rashane kind of went, he said, don't be surprised if it's Kretinsky that buys it. He said, because I've heard other things that there's other people in for it. So he didn't dismiss the fact that Golden Sullivan were gonna buy the club. He has heard that there is somebody else in the bidding to buy West Ham in the summer. So Golden Sullivan is selling that now. That's something separate. But that being the case, what that means is if your intentions are to sell the club in the summer, you're not going to go out and get a big expensive manager on a 4-year, 5-year deal, because the owners that come in next are probably going to want to put their own man in, which means that you're either going to need a caretaker man. Ideally, you want David Moyes just to keep us in the Premier League till the end of the year. But failing that, you'll either want a caretaker manager or a temporary manager. If that is a scenario, if they are selling the club, they're not going to go out and get a big manager on a 4-year, 5-year deal, are they?
No.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
But that's what I've always said to you. You're saying that they're out there looking for a manager. I don't believe they are. For whatever the reason is, I don't believe they are. I don't think they are.
The only thing I disagree with you there, John, is that you should always have an eye. You should, as a football
succession
club,
planning.
Always have an eye on who you would want to replace that manager.
It would be negligent.
For whatever reason.
So do you think they had an eye on when they got rid of Moyes the first time and then bought in Pellegrini?
That's what Jonathan said.
Do you think
I
they
do know for a fact.
That's what Jonathan said.
I do know for a fact.
They had an eye on him for ages because Pellegrini came in and said, I've been watching West Ham for the last 6 months.
Pellegrini's contract was signed in the January.
Yeah.
We appointed Moyes in the November. Pellegrini was signed in the January, and he was coming on a proviso that West Ham stayed up. Moyes was only given till the end of the season. Thank you very much. David Gold looked an idiot because he goes on Sky Sports and says, "I'd like to think Moyes will stay in the job," and the next day he's gone, and then Pellegrini's announced. Now, when they let Moyes go first, I thought, well, a bit harsh. I weren't a great Moyes fan, bit harsh because he did what exactly was asked of him. When they appointed Pellegrini, I thought, oh, here we go. They brought a proper manager in. Now, they only gave him 18 months. They let him spend nearly £200 million because Moyes, in the January transfer window, had actually shipped out a lot of players, brought in Jordan Ugill. We tend to forget that at the moment.
Conveniently.
But brought in like £30 million profit that they then gave to Pellegrini to spend on top of the 100 million. He then blew it, and then they sack him.
Yeah. Let's not talk about blowing transfer funds. He spent 300 million in 3 years.
Can I just say?
He's not blown it, has he? Come on, Nick. Has he blown it?
Well, we're 1 point above relegation, mate.
Yeah, he has blown it. He has blown it in a moment. Sorry, John. Hang on a minute.
We're third into the season.
Listen, this is something after your own heart. Hang on, Gary. 1 minute. This is my nephew, Gary's son, Ross.
Yeah,
very intelligent lad, and he's come out and he said, "1 minute, Gary." Ross,
is he a DJ?
He is, yes. So Ross has said, if you're on a central line and accidentally went down the wrong eastern branch, do you get off at Snaresbrook and get a bus, or do you stay all the way to Epping? Epping being relegation. What do you do?
Is it not a loop? Does it not come back round?
Not from Epping,
no. Yeah, it does.
I'm pretty sure the central line's got a bit of a loop.
Jonathan? What do you do there, Jonathan?
Ross being Ross, he's checked this out, Nigel. He's checked this out.
I know my tube map, and I'm pretty sure that's a loop that you can sit on the
Not
train.
to Epping, it ain't. Epping's right up there.
Oh, is it? Oh, right. So what if I go on the Hainault loop?
The thing is, though, listen, hang on. I'll change it for you. Like, it doesn't have to be like. Doesn't have to be so black and white. Let's just say like I really like Antonio. Yeah. No, right. And he's like I respect Antonio. I'll always respect him. He's got a legacy at West Ham, right? Whatever
yes, I agree. I agree.
Do I want it? Does that mean that I don't want someone better in the team ahead of him? If Schumacher is, proves to be world class, of course it doesn't. Yeah, if a manager is available, hang on, that the board or Krasinski, whoever it is, identifies and is willing to come. I'm not going to go, no, but Moyes is my man. Moyes is not West Ham. I'm just saying I respect him. I'm not Moyes out, but if a better situation is available, then we should probably go for it.
So if 90% of managers are available to come to West Ham, you'll be happy for Moyes to move on.
Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Let's
I'm
just say
joking.
that we've got a chairman. Hang on. Let's just use your analogy.
Go
Let's
on.
just say that we're eighth now.
Yes.
2 points off of 6 or something.
Yes.
We're doing really, really well. And all of a sudden, the Saudi investment fund come in.
Yeah.
Guardiola's willing to move from Man City. You're not going to. What we're going to be like? Oh no, we've got to be loyal. Of course we're not.
No. This is where Nick would say, "I'll bring on the Saudis," and I'll be going, "Fuck off."
I wouldn't say bring on the. I wouldn't say bring on the Saudis at all.
I know you wouldn't.
See. I must admit, and this is my only defence of Golden Sullivan versus Kretinsky, because as West Ham fans, what I will say is we are a bullish bunch, and what Golden Sullivan do give you is they give you a face that we can scream at. They don't hide. They'll go to the stadium. They will take it on the chin. Whereas if you had somebody like Kretinsky, but if you had somebody like Kretinsky, you'd never even see him at the stadium. So if he performed similarly to Golden Sullivan, would be frustrated. There'd be no one to direct our anger at. At least you've got. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense, Nigel? At least with
like the Glazers.
No, it was one of the, I did it. One of the first West Ham YouTube channels was they used to sit in the studio.
They don't hide away, do they?
It's there, and this was when I was at the height of anti-Allardyce and anti-Golden Sullivan. I was protesting against the move, and I got asked a question about like different owners, and I said, "Well, to be honest, if you offered me like the Emir of like Oman or Golden Sullivan, I'd take Golden Sullivan every day because I don't want these for me." The way I view West Ham, I realise now, is totally different to the way 90% of other West Ham fans view the club. I see it as an extension of the community that it was born out of. Which obviously ain't that no more, But I cling to that that notion. So I don't want us own. At today, one of the heads of Saudi Arabia on Qatar TV said, "I hope Saudi Arabians will go and buy Liverpool and Man United."
Yeah, I know, but that's success at all costs, though, isn't it? I'm not really.
Yeah, but what
guys, I don't expect you. Yeah.
They buy West Ham as well, then. Where is the Premier League? And this is a wider thing.
All I want. Listen, all I want really from West Ham. I proved it after the Leicester game. I do me match reactions things that I do, and after the Leicester game, I weren't wound up in the slightest. I was deflated, but I felt a little bit better because we'd watched a little bit better football. Generally, at the moment. That's all I want to say, Nigel. It ain't. I don't expect us to win things.
Nick,
I just
want
to want to see better football.
That if they could bring Bielsa in, I told you this. If they come to me
all day long,
Nigel, we're going to get Bielsa.
Yes.
I'd be like,
tomorrow.
Sorry, Dave.
I don't get that.
I'll wave you up. Because we won't win anything with Bielsa.
It'd be exciting, though.
It'll be fun. Be exciting, wouldn't it? Be exciting.
Yeah, every game.
Can I just say? Guys, can I just say something? I imagine you'll massively disagree on this, yeah? When we're looking at managers, right, over the last few years, I'm going to go back from Allardyce. Who was before Allardyce, by the way? Who took us down? Can't even remember now.
Avram Grant.
Yeah.
Right, perfect. Right, so after Avram Grant...
He weren't perfect.
You look at Allardyce, and you look at Bilic, and you look at Pellegrini, and you look at Moyes, right? Yeah. At each point, I'm ready to get a new manager. I'm not Moyes out as such, but I'm ready to move forward if we've gone as far as we can go. I know that Allardyce is not a popular figure, but I'm saying every manager aside from Pellegrini took us forward. Even Allardyce did. Allardyce.
Nigel's going to disagree with you here. Look.
No, hang on.
I think Jonathan's right to some extent. Again, Allardyce did fulfil his job.
He did. He done what he came in to do. He got us promoted, and he kept us safe for that first year. He done that.
If you look at it, Allardyce got us promoted, right? Bilic gave us probably our most, my most.
We won the losers.
And mine, Jonathan. And mine, Jonathan.
Let me finish.
Shut up, Nigel.
Allardyce got us promoted. Well, okay, whatever. It wasn't pretty, but he did it.
Yeah.
Right. And then we,
But more importantly, Jonathan, he kept us safe. He kept us in the league the following year.
He stabilised us. Allardyce stabilised us.
Yeah.
Bilic gave us some excitement. Pellegrini went and wasted a load of money and did fuck all, literally fuck all. And Moyes has given us a couple of fantastic seasons. If it's come to the end for Moyes, I'm ready to go for somebody else. But what I don't want is another Pellegrini situation.
No.
I'm desperate not to have
that's
a
the thing.
waste of money, waste of fucking time.
I don't get, if we get someone like Bielsa in, that's not long term, that's short term. What's the point of that?
No, but that is look.
What?
No,
Every manager in the Premier League short term now, they only have a 3-year shelf life.
No, I know.
But John, what it looks like we're doing now is what I like to think that we're doing with Noble coming in as sporting director, with Newman in as a head of recruitment and everything else. We're putting in the structure so that the manager isn't running fucking everything. He's not running everything. And what that means is that you kind of what Bielsa
you're wrong
could
there,
do,
Nick, and I'll tell you why. Because of the links between Newman and Moyes run far deeper. Yeah.
Yes.
You telling me if Moyes goes, Newman goes? Is that what you're saying?
I think you'll find that the reason Newman was appointed, he was mates with. They played together when Bristol City won the Freight Rover Trophy at Wembley, which is Bristol City's only trophy.
Yeah.
These people go back a long way.
Yeah, but Nigel, as much as they go back a long way, Newman had a good reputation at City, no?
Well, he was head of international transfers, and I think the one transfer he pointed at was David Villa, and that was the only one he could point at.
Right.
We might have a problem. We might have a problem initially when Moyes leaves because I think he's been so hands-on, overly hands-on.
Yes.
We might have a Wenger situation.
But that's what people wanted.
Sense.
They wanted the manager in charge, not the owners.
Yeah,
I agree. I'm not.
But we don't want the owners in charge. What I would like the Brighton model, whereby Potter, who is a wonderful manager, can go, but it don't matter because all that back end infrastructure is there. It remains, and all you do is you go out and you just find a similar managers come in and slot
unless you find Chelsea have hired that back ownership as well.
Husenhart, I think he gets a rough ride. I'm not saying he wouldn't be top of my list, but would I be heartbroken? He did very well at Leipzig. It was at Leipzig he came from, didn't he? But when you look at his time at Southampton, that is a club. They sell his crown jewels every fucking season. Every season he's been having to do a rebuild.
Can I point something out?
Yeah.
Go on. Right. Former Milan and Benfica coach Bela Gutmann, who's a legendary coach, right? Who you've never heard of, you two.
No.
He said the third year is fatal. Arguing about things start to unravel for a manager after passing that threshold. And he said, I think the cycle of a manager is probably 3 years. Right. That was his conclusion. And I struggle to disagree with him. That was said many, many years ago. This is a fucking legendary manager from back in the fucking 50s or 60s. The third year is fatal.
Do you know what? If we had
Ferguson took how long to get Man United firing?
I know there are exceptions, Nige.
John Lowell. John,
but the game has changed now. You can't afford to go down with a manager because you like him and hope he
but we ain't in danger.
We are in danger of relegation, Nigel.
No, we're not because we've only played 16 games and it's a 38-game league.
Yeah, Nigel,
so we're not in danger.
Nigel, with the trend and the points of the last 12 months and where we are in the league, unless something drastically changes, we're going down.
No, Nick, because even if you're looking at the points we've accumulated in the calendar
we're in a relegation battle, mate. Unless something improves, we're in a relegation battle.
We stayed up with 35 points.
But if we get nothing out of the next games, the next game's coming up. But we'll look at the last one. We lost to fucking Crystal Palace, Blackburn B, and Leicester, who lost their best player after 25 minutes and turned really, really average when Maddison went off. We still couldn't get anything out of the game.
Well,
and then we've got Arsenal away. We've got fucking Brentford at home.
Everybody's had a break now.
Yeah, no. Well, Moyes especially. That's another thing, Jonathan. Just say, you're the board, right? Now there might have been a pre-agreed agreement for David Moyes to go to Qatar prior to everything else, but he needs to do some work with his squad, doesn't he? Because what we can all see is that something's not working. So he needs to use this period to transform it. What is your opinion of him being out in Qatar, working out there at the moment? Honestly,
fuck man.
Seriously, what would you say if you're the owner of West Ham and he says, right, yeah, I know it's a bit shit, but we'll send the boys away on a 2-week break. I'm going to go out to Qatar for a little bit. Come back, a couple of weeks ago. Be fine. Be all right.
He ain't just sprung it upon them. They would have known.
No. Yeah, but West Ham pay his wages. At the end of the day, his main job is West Ham. He's got to change
football
things.
Being played at the moment? Where are the best players playing football at the moment?
Do you know we're one of only 3 clubs that are not off in warm weather training at the moment?
Where would you want your manager to be watching the best players?
Oh, fucking really? Nigel, come on,
The
mate.
thing is,
You want him about scouting players, but you don't want him sitting in Qatar.
I don't want him. I don't know. You can scout players. You can scout players from the same place we're fucking scouting them. You can watch the games on the TV. What I'm saying is, Nigel
is to be out there watching football. That's his job.
Nigel, his job is to use this break to work on a plan to transform us when we get back.
Well, he's still got a couple of weeks. We're not back for another 4 weeks.
We are not safe. We're not safe.
I've not said we're safe. I've not said we're safe. What I said was,
don't lie,
at this moment in time, we are not in danger of relegation because there's still too
How
many
are we
games.
not in danger of relegation if we're not safe?
There's still too many games to play.
How are you saying
No
that?
one
Another
gets
3 games,
relegated
we're
after
halfway through the
19
season.
games.
But Nigel,
Nigel,
unless something changes, we're in danger of relegation. Is what I'm trying to say.
Guys,
all right. What I can point you out many a time where the form of West Ham running up to March, April has been relegation, but then in April and May we've won a load of games and didn't go down. Did the managers ever get sacked? No, they didn't.
Listen, you're relying
and all everybody ever says is, "Oh, that's the old days. Football's different."
Nigel, Nigel, if your gamble doesn't pay off, your planning is with 12 games to go, because I know you said it before. Yeah. At that point, with 12 games to go, that's enough time for us to get points. Yes. So at that point, you want to get another manager in and try and push for a great escape again. Yes. And put. That is
when you say great escape, hold up, and this is the thing, it's cut adrift, Nick. What you fail to realise is, and I think you do fail to realise this, is that the concertina effect of the Premier League at the moment, in the way that the teams at the top have actually not accumulated as many points as they normally get, and that's because a lot of teams in the middle are picking up points as well. How close every team is. I see people saying there ain't 3 shitter teams than us. I think there's 4 at the moment, because I think we're 16th in the league. So I think there's 17, 18, 19 and below us. No, this ain't, but that's
you'll be saying you would be saying this if we were sitting there rock bottom of the league at the moment, wouldn't you?
Well, hold up. If we're sitting rock bottom of the league, right, on 10 points, but sitting in 14th has only got 13 points, I would be saying that, because that's one win, Nick. Because at the end of the day, forms can turn around. You know, in 2003, when we got relegated, on February the 21st, we only had 21 points. Yeah. By the middle of May, or the last game of the season, we got our 42nd point away to Birmingham. That's 21 points was accumulated, which, well, Brooklyn and Roda. But at the end of the day, if you look at that, any other season keeps you up.
Yeah.
And if we'd have beat Birmingham, we still would have gone down with 44 points.
But with the knowledge that you've got, but Nigel, with the knowledge that you've got, because with the contacts that you know that we've got the club, what he has, he really does understand the financials of the club very, very well. Yeah, he does. Yeah. How bad would it be for West Ham to get relegated?
Well, I don't need him to tell me. I know people.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is, that's what I mean. I
think that's the difference. I think when people say to you, Nige, that's the old days, I don't think they're being derogatory or nothing like that.
No, but do you know what I say then? Right, when you look at what Gold and Sullivan have invested, the actual amount of money of their own, set aside from what they've purchased for the club. So they put a load of money when they bought it and whatever. Then they had to put money into the club. They put in about 58, 60 million pound between them, of their own personal money. 32 million pound of that was in 2011-12.
Yeah.
Why was that?
Don't know.
Because we got relegated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, they put the money into the club to get us back up.
But they haven't really put that much money into the club.
No, but they did it. That's all that was needed back then. Yeah. Now they'd probably need to put in. So for me, what I'd be doing if we got relegated, and I accept it as an occupational hazard. Yeah. West Ham's been relegated every decade since the 70s. Yeah. At some point in this decade, I fear we may go down. I'm not bothered, and I'm not. But then it's time for the owners to put up, and I believe they will put up, because let's face it, if we get relegated, that £800 million price tag, which is possibly a little tad too much, but not much if you're looking at selling Liverpool and Man United for $4 billion each. So when you look at that, Yeah, so when you look at that and you think, well, they'll want to recoup their investment, they will be putting the money in to get the club back up. Never fear. And we can all have a jolly up watching us play Barnsley and Rotherham and all the lovely cases. We do love to go once a decade.
No, one second, Jonathan. Mandy G just made one comment. I just want to put it back to Nigel. We've played all 4 teams below us and we've only beat one of them.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Well,
that feeds into, Nigel, you said 3 or 4 teams are worse than us. Who are they?
Well, the teams that are below us.
Yeah, no, that don't count. Tell us which...
don't count. Well, are they below us?
No, they're below us at the moment. But do you think they're going to be below us at the end of the season?
Nigel,
it's all about fixtures, right? It's all about fixtures. It's all about who we've played. It's all about who we've played, right?
Now, let me then put this question to you. Do you think every team above us is better than us then?
Yes, at the moment, 100%.
Well,
at the moment, the way we're playing.
Every team below us is worse than us.
No, I struggled to find many teams who are worse than us. That's the problem.
The way we play.
That's what I struggle with.
On paper.
I mean, on a regular basis, not on the occasions. I mean, on a regular basis.
I think Forest are worse than us. I think
maybe that's all right. So maybe that's one. I don't know about Southampton.
Brentford. To be fair.
Oh yeah, no way.
Really?
I don't agree with that at all. Not the way they play. Jonathan, sorry, mate, I cut you off. What was your point?
Hang on, I'm just writing a text.
Sorry, mate.
Basically, what I was going to say. I hope I remember what I was going to say. The point is, and you was absolutely right, Nick. Right. So I've thought about it, and I'm going to take my Moyes hat off that you think I wear. If we lose our next 3 games, no. If we lose our next 3 games, he's got to go.
There you go.
He's got to go. Yeah, right? That's done. That's for me done.
Agreed.
Yeah?
Agreed. Yeah.
100%. If we lose 3 games in a row after Christmas, which it will be, that's it. That is done. Yeah.
Let's take a straw poll on that. Let's take a straw poll on that.
Hang on, Gary. Let him finish. Let him finish his point.
What I'm going to say is, but the sticking point is, should we have got rid of him now or given him the 3-game chance? And I honestly don't know the answer to that because we haven't had the 3 games yet. So I'm gambling. We're all gambling. Yeah. Well, not all of us. We're all gambling. Ones that are saying give him the chance are gambling. Ones that are saying, we should get rid of him now are gambling. We don't know the answer. And one of our sides are going to end up saying, I told you.
Well, look. At the end of the day, if it goes, you're right. If it goes wrong, then the right thing to have done would have been to have got rid of him now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if it goes well, then you're right. If it goes well, then you're right. Yeah. Then you're right.
The thing to do would have been to give him a chance. So it is a gamble.
I agree.
And I get it, and I'll be willing to hold my hand up and say I should have been, or not should have been. Doesn't make a difference what I say. I'm not the board. I've not got $1 billion fucking dollars in my account. I'm saying if Moyes loses the next 3 games and he gets fired, I will stand up and say, yeah, they should have done that before. They should have done that before the World Cup. If he turns it around, I'll be delighted because I like David Moyes. That's really all it is.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
I like David Moyes. I just
not
don't think he should be I don't think he should be a manager of the club anymore, right? But I really like him. And like I said earlier, I really mean this. I don't think his legacy should be kind of expunged, and that's what it will be if it goes on.
That's the concern for me.
He's getting touchy as well, and look at his comments, Gary, as well. Referring to us as experts and stuff like that. And there's been other comments
when your job's on the line. When your job's on the line, Nick, sometimes you become touchy, and he knows his job's on the line.
See, Nigel, you didn't like the ear cupping. What did you think of those comments?
You don't like it.
I didn't have a problem with that. The ear cupping.
Really?
You've got to look.
So selective. You're so selective.
You're taking one picture.
Nigel
chased
Sam Allardyce around the Allgate one-way system with a pitchfork.
You had to be at that game.
I was at the game.
Right, you had to be at that game. Do you know that game resulted to me sending David Sullivan an email saying you've got to sack him. And not only that is I spent an hour copying and pasting comments from KUMB about how bad, and I sent it to David Sullivan for him to then email me back and say that's the worst I've ever seen a victory.
In essence,
that's how bad it was.
So I know how bad it was, but it was just dismissive, right?
That night. David Moyes wasn't really being dismissive of all West Ham fans in the ground.
Allardyce was.
No, Allardyce was dismissing those that have paid good money to watch the shite football that he had the cheek to put up with.
Yeah.
And, Moyes was having a go.
We're watching shit
at
football
the
now,
social media people.
We're watching shit football now.
It's the same thing, though.
No,
Moyes,
it is.
because
Look,
he's basically saying that the fans don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and maybe we don't know. Compared to a manager sees a lot of shit, and they get paid a lot of money to do a very important job. And so, no, of course we don't know as much as managers, but we're fans, and we pay to go and watch the team, and we're entitled to have a comment, have entitled to make comments, have an opinion on the team. And that's what Moyes clearly thinks we don't deserve to have, because there's lots of opinions and it's all bullshit. And that's exactly what Sam Allardyce was doing with that.
Yeah. Also, Nigel, but the fans booed Ben Rama going off. Yeah. They booed Ben Rama. No, what I'm saying is they booed Ben Rama off. Who started against Leicester? Ben Rama.
Yeah. Well, you think that's because of the booing?
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is he says he doesn't agree with him on one hand, but then he starts him the next game.
Well, sometimes you give a player enough rope, you might hang himself, isn't it?
That's ridiculous, mate. Honestly, his stats. So you don't like. You only like stats that back up your theories. But do you know something? In terms of
listen, I love Ben Rama. I've said he needs a chance.
Ben
It's creativity for him. But let's not wank ourselves off over him. He's got no delivery. Let's not wank ourselves off over him. He's got no final delivery. When he did that spin on the ball against Crystal Palace, I'd turn around.
But Nigel, he's the only one trying to do anything. Can I say something? Why is it that not? Tell me this. Why is it that it's only Ben Rama that gets pulled out because Moyes doesn't like him? What about him? Wait. Why not? Why are we not pulling out stats on Bowen?
Oh, we can do that.
Fuck all season. What I mean is because he's done nothing all season.
No, he hasn't. I'd agree with you there. Who has done anything? We're in this situation not because Ben Rama's not got no delivery. That's part of it. But Bowen's fucking shit. Antonio's blow-dockman's cold. Skamaka's not up to Premier League standards yet. I believe he's got the ability to.
He can't impersonate Antonio. He can't impersonate Antonio.
Exactly right. You've got to play a different way with him and everything. Paquetá, in a way, sometimes I think we're not on his wavelength. Then I think, is he really on Premier League wavelength? And then I see him play for Brazil, and you think, no, I'm right. We're not on his wavelength.
Absolutely.
So therefore,
but he's also,
and he's played in the wrong position. So there's all this.
He's going to look better playing with Brazil, no matter what, because he's playing with better players. Like you said, on his wavelength, so he's always going to look good at Brazil. I'm not saying he's not good at West Ham.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That just comes. Yeah,
is it? I don't know. What is it with Paquetá? Is it West Ham? Is it the Premier League, or is it the Paquetá? I can't work it out yet.
I think Skamaka. I think a lot of this. It's like, do you know what I really hope? If Moyes, I hope that Moyes isn't here against Arsenal. I hope he isn't. But if he is,
well, he is going to bring.
But Nigel, if he is, and he's here against Arsenal, I think we're all agreed to a degree. You might not be, but most people are. If he fucks up these next 3 games, he's done his post. The most important thing against Arsenal is because a result is unlikely. Yes. So what I would like him to do is go for it. Go for it. It's a free hit. Treat it as a fucking free hit. Put the players out there. You don't need 2 central defensive midfielders. You don't need Rice and Souček next to each other.
No.
Set the team out. Go at Arsenal. They're going to have how many players have Arsenal got at this fucking World Cup? If they're going to suffer more than us. They're going to come back. They're going to be tired. Yep. He's got to go for it. If he doesn't do it at that game, for instance, say he doesn't, say he tries, he plays cautiously, and we get absolutely battered by Arsenal. At that point, I'll just be like, fucking seriously.
This sums me up about Ben Rama. Look at that, Eddie Oliveira. Amos Chat has a stats video that shows that Benny's been one of the most creative players in the league.
He has been. Hold up.
Been one of the most. What has he created for West Ham? Where are West Ham, and what has he created?
But Nigel, this comes back to Paquetá, because when you play in a team where you don't commit bodies forward,
Ben Rama's too shy. He's too shy.
What's he created?
No, Nigel. Let me just finish this for a minute. When you're a creative player, Paquetá. Let's look at Paquetá. The reason he can't pick those passes that he can pick for Brazil is because we don't commit bodies forward, i.e., to mitigate our attack that we've got, which is Bowen and Skamaka. They're both double marked at all fucking times. So
that's a good point.
They're not free. You can't just magic a ball out of nowhere. If you watch the way Brazil play and you watch the way an attacking team plays, they're overlapping, they're swarming, there's bodies being
there's a video that he's one of the most creative players in the Premier League. He's one of the most. That's what it's just.
No, statistically he is.
Then
what are they judging that on, though?
That's
What
a
are they judging
bollocks
that
then.
on?
What has he created, Nick?
Watch the video.
What's he created, Nick? Tell me now. What's he created? You've seen the games. What's he created?
Oh God!
What is creation then?
What he's
exactly
saying, Nick,
right.
He's not disagreeing with you, but I haven't watched it either. What are they judging it on?
There are 4 or 5 different metrics. I can't remember them all. No, listen, there are 4 or 5 different metrics. Listen, Jonathan, watch the video and then tell me it's Gio's video.
I like Ben Rama. I like Ben Rama.
No, what I'm saying is Jonathan, what I'm saying is watch that video. And that is what I'm saying. That is what, because the thing is, well, I've just explained to you why we can't just fucking create. And what we say is about chances created, because what we're doing is now,
creative because he's one of the best in the Premier League.
We're having pot shots fucking from everywhere.
They made a video and said he's one of the most creative players in the Premier League.
I know it's a miniature stat. It's a miniature stat, but like Ross says, our last 2 Premier League goals have been scored by Ben Rama, who clearly has no end products.
There you go. Yeah,
but he ain't got any product.
No, Ben Rama's great.
Yeah, but our last 2 Premier League goals, Nigel.
How many has he got? How many goals has he got?
He's got as many as anyone else in our forward line.
But that ain't saying anything, is it? When you look in our position or where we are.
Why are we talking about Ben Rama and not Bowen? Is what I'm trying to say.
Listen,
why is it always on
talking about Bowen? No, because I'll tell you why. Because West Ham fans stick fucking Ben Rama on a pedestal like he's some fucking Paolo Di Canio, and he ain't. He's another fucking Aaron Lennon.
Because we like someone who gets their head down and runs at a player, and that's what he seems to do.
He does that spin and lovely, beats 2 players with 1 movement. Yeah,
I get that.
West Ham United clip it, and they show this video on Twitter. Oh, fucking
no! I disagree with that. I disagree.
Cross.
I disagree with that.
Fucking nowhere.
See, you're just repeating Moyes' thing and what's his name? Noble's thing about someone sees a fucking video and it's like the best thing in the world because they've just seen a little trick or a little
West Ham United media department done.
No, but that doesn't matter. I don't watch those fucking videos. I just go and watch West Ham. I go and watch West Ham, and I'll see him get his head down and run at a team, and it doesn't come off.
I see him do that move, and I see what came after, and that's my point. I see what he did then, fucking brilliant bit of skill. But the most important bit in football is putting the ball in the net. Yeah? Or creating
it's exciting when a player runs at someone. You love Devonshire, right? Someone who runs at a player, right?
When you're winning. When you're doing that and you're winning. If you're doing that and you're losing, it ain't fucking exciting.
It's true.
But even with the likes of Paqueta at the moment, with the way that Paqueta was playing, because one of the main issues that I've got with David Moyes, which does kill me, like one of my favourite West Ham players is Pablo Fornals. He is. I think he has suffered at the hands of David Moyes because he's been shoehorned out on the left where he's no fucking good, but he's out there because of his defensive input, not because of what he truly can offer.
But the thing is,
in an attacking, and no, let me just say this. And we saw in that last 15 minutes against Man United, right, when he was clearly sent on with the instruction, make something happen, Pablo. He went on there. He looked fucking amazing. He looked really, really good, and it showed that there is still a player. No, but he did it. It looked like.
I'm sorry, our XG's one of the highest in the league. End of, Nigel.
I know.
Yeah, end of. Where are we in the league? How many goals are we scoring?
I know.
Oh, but don't worry, people, because our XG's really fucking good.
Yeah, but that for me, and what I'm trying to say is,
I'm out. Fucking Moyes out because our XG's so good. We're obviously not scoring. Let's fucking sack the cunt.
Anyway, look, we've had Jonathan on the line. We've had Jonathan on the line for 55 minutes. Jonathan, come on. Let's wrap this up for you, mate. Let me. Is it? Jonathan is the longest caller in Claret Boost history. You've called riots on here, Jonathan. Riots.
Yeah.
I know. You started off with, what do you think of the England game?
I know.
I've been on the phone for the last 15 minutes, lads.
I know.
To you lot.
I know.
The beauty of it, Jonathan, is you're paying for the call.
I know. They're all free calls nowadays. They're all free calls. They're all free calls. Right. So what I was going to say is, Jonathan, is there one last thing or one last? How do you want to close it? How do you want to close your call?
I think David Moyes.
Yeah.
Should be personally, and this is from the heart, hung, drawn, and quartered in East Ham on Monday.
That's very reasonable.
Can I ask one question, John? John, where are you from?
Go on,
where are you from?
You know what? I'm actually from Wanstead. I was born in Wanstead.
Yeah,
I've lived in Stratford. I've lived in Loughton. Yeah. I've lived in Harlesden.
All right, we know you got a market, son. Fucking Wanstead's posh enough. You don't have to fucking.
That's why
I was in Wanstead, and then I was in Loughton, and then
he's a tanner, Nigel, isn't he?
Wanstead.
He's a tanner.
This is like Cockney vision.
No, Holsden's a shithole. Holsden's a shithole.
I would not never live in Holsden, Jonathan.
Yeah, for 2 years.
Holsden is a shithole. It is.
Yeah, it is a shithole. Listen, boys. No. My honest opinion is, and I've listened tonight, and I actually feel a bit moved by it. To be fair, Nick, we lose our next 3 games. He's got to go. Yeah, right? He's got to go.
Yeah.
Because they've not pulled that trigger when they maybe should have, and this is all hindsight. Maybe later, if he loses his next 3 games, I'm gonna say they should have fucking done this in December, right? Yeah. But because they haven't, I'm hoping he can turn it around. But do I believe he will? I don't know. But if he does, I'll be delighted. That's honestly where I'm at.
Yeah.
I think it would take a very, very hardened Moyes out person to hope he doesn't turn it around. I think even like Nick's Moyes out, but he would rather him turn it around than get.
Oh look, if he turned it around, I'd swallow me pride. I'd swallow me pride.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, John. But there was I can only say this about my own experience. There was a point, and I think Nick's there now, and he's been there for quite a while. But where it was at Newcastle. We played at home. I was at the Stratford. We played Newcastle, and I remember just thinking that is it. I can't. And I remember after that, I wanted Pellegrini gone, and I couldn't shake it.
Yeah.
So I understand this kind of.
I'll give you this. Right. I'll give you this. At the Palace game, there was 3 blokes standing behind me. I'd never seen them before. And so we lost, Leicester game. So obviously we was losing. And one of the blokes looked at his bet. He looked at his bet 365 and went, my bets are coming in at the minute because I got West Ham to lose as well. I'm like, you bet on your own team.
Hang on, I never wanted us to lose ever with whatever manager. I just knew that I'd had it with Pellegrini. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, don't get me wrong, John. I wouldn't bet on West Ham to win at the moment, but I certainly
I don't bet on my own club. I don't bet on my own team.
And don't get Nick wrong as well. If Moyes turned it around, Nick would become the biggest Moyes in supporter going. He's not proud. He would the last 3 months of videos would be deleted immediately. They would be, and I didn't all everything
You've got a really, really, really good show. Raw, passionate. You're the only show that I'll go on because I know that you can.
Oh, cheers, mate!
It's a brilliant show. It's a brilliant
show. The only show that does a phone-in, though, John. To be fair,
no, there's others now. There's others now.
Do phone-ins.
No,
I don't watch other shows. So.
Yeah. We set the trend.
This is a show for proper fans.
Thank you very much.
Take care, guys. Thanks a lot,
Jonathan.
See you later,
man. Thanks, mate.
Take care. Bye.
Take care, mate.
That was a good call. That was.
I like him. I like
him.
Bloke.
I noticed you kept him on the line until he decided he was Moyes out. It was like you was just trying to get into his brain.
Gary.
Hang on.
Oh, no.
I've got Gary from Romford. Gary from Romford.
Hang on.
Who's it?
It's Gary from Romford.
Hey.
Gary, how you doing?
Gary, I'm going to hand you. I'm going to go and top my wine up because I'm parched. So I'll leave you in the capable hands of these 3.
Yeah. How you doing, Gary? You all right,
mate?
Hello, mate. How are you? All right?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. What did you make of that beautiful game tonight?
He's gone.
Gary, you there? You there, Gary? Nick took
the phone with him.
As he put him on mute or cut him off. He's such a
Gary from Watford. Yeah,
I know.
Nick's messed up here.
Gary's still talking away, not realising that we can't even fucking hear him.
Yeah.
He won't phone back again because he thinks we're
Nick's probably put his fucking phone on mute and gone to get a glass of wine. He's such a cock, isn't he?
Have a look because Stato, Eddie Oliveira, went and got the stats for Ben Rama. So I can pull that apart.
He's going to prove you right. He's going to prove you right, Nigel.
I don't know if he's going to prove me right. I don't really care. So he says these are specifics: so passing and dribbling. There you go. Everybody.
1.292 chances per 90 minutes.
There you go.
Successful dribbles over 90 is 3. Most take-ons in the EPL. Fucking quality
there you
stats,
go,
Nigel.
isn't it?
Quality
Most
stats.
take-ons.
Yeah.
What's a take-on? What the fuck is a take-on?
That's when you get your head down
You
and
do it
run
when
at
you're
someone.
being
Fucking
offensive.
take them on, you know what I mean?
It's
Take
like
them
this
on.
new one that's called Grand Jewels. And
What's that?
nobody can tell me.
Crown jewels.
Grand Jewels. Yeah.
Oh.
Like grand and jewels,
Oh,
like on guard. Yeah. Apparently, though, it's not a tackle. Yeah. Because the bloke on
What's
Twitter,
a jewel then?
Well, this is what I couldn't work out. He got a bit umpy when I started taking the piss out of him, as I generally do. What the fuck is a grand jewel? I don't know if these people actually watch football for the enjoyment of football. But stats are fucking, stats are bollocks when it comes up with this.
What is a ground jewel if you're running at someone? A duel is something that you have, it's like a competition, isn't it? Yeah, it's got to be in it.
But what's the stats? The stats in the World Cup, it says possession, and then it says something like contest. Have you seen that as well?
Yeah, there's a new stat where there's like 8, like Holland had like 65% possession, the other team had like 20% possession, and obviously, so there was 15% possession missing. So they said, "Oh, that was contested possession."
Oh my God, help me, Jesus!
Nick,
Christ.
Nick, you cut Gary from Romford off.
Have I?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you're here, Gary. Oh, so he put himself on mute. So he went away and put himself on mute and put you on mute as well. You are brilliant, Nick. Absolutely brilliant.
Sorry, Gary. Sorry, mate. I didn't mean that.
That's all right, mate.
It was
that was a good point you made, though, Gal.
I've got a Belgian bum.
Good point.
Yeah. I've been listening to the conversation about the David Moyes, tonight. What I was going to ask you is, this same thing keeps coming out about he's got 3 games to turn it around. I'm going to ask you, how exactly does he turn it around? I mean, because we've said in previous conversations that the main problem in the side is Soucek. He's a cog it's stopping it working, because with these new players we've got in, Skamaka and Paqueta, I said to Nick last week that the way to go forward is to play 3 up front, Antonio and Benny either side of Skamaka, and play 4 Nels Rice and Paqueta in the middle, or 4 Nels in a 3.
I'll tell you how he could turn it around for me, Gary. I'll tell you how he could turn it around for me. It's not necessarily even winning the games. What he could do is show intent and pick a formation. I was saying this in the previous games as well. I would have accepted a loss against Leicester had he lined up against Leicester. We actually did all right against Leicester. But you look at the previous games against Bournemouth, the game that we actually won and we were shit, right? I would like to see him. You know what I can't understand? He says we're transitioning. I don't know what we're transitioning to. If I could see what we're transitioning to, it might change my mind a bit. If I could see, for instance, we all know that Rice needs to play next to Paqueta. We knew that before we watched Brazil the other day. We fucking knew that Paqueta was the number 8, right? And we know that Fornals is the number 10. We know that, we know these players playing in the right position and with the right mindset. Even a 4-2-3-1 with the same set of players against Leicester as we played against Bournemouth, because he gave them instructions to go and attack, it was a completely different game. So it's selection, formation, and instruction. And if he kind of gets those 3 elements right, and it kind of starts to look a little bit promising, then I might not be, it might give me a little bit of hope. I'm Moyes out at the moment, but he could turn it around if he did something different.
I've been hanging on. I've been hanging on for him to change it up for a long time, and maybe it was more hope than anything else. But I think with the whole Soucek thing, for me, most definitely, I think Soucek has become the main problem in the team. And Nigel, I want to pick you up on something, Nigel, because when you defend Soucek, you do use stats. I've heard you.
He does, I know.
I've heard you
use stats. I don't use stats. I use facts. So there's a difference.
Oh, there we go.
The trouble is he when we restart again, is he going to drop Soucek for Downs or Paqueta or
no, he won't. He won't.
Is he going to leave Bowen out and maybe try putting Antonio?
No.
You know that game the other week, Nick said. You know the Man United game, that last 20 minutes. Suddenly, Antonio came on, Fornals came on, and in 20 minutes we threw the kitchen sink at them. Another day, we could have won that game easily. So why can't we go up like that more from the offset? Why have we got to wait, to this like last 15 minutes to have a go?
Well, this is a problem. This is a problem. We know what players he's going to play in the next game. We know what selection he's going to make in the next game. It might be a little bit more forward thinking, but Souček will start the next game. And Bowen will start the next game as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you a question. I was watching Paquetá the other night for Brazil. I don't know what you all thought of him.
I thought he was good. Really enjoyed him. He was a good player.
Yeah. Do you think, in hindsight, and Scamacca for that matter, if things don't go right, he might start to be a bit of sulking going on?
Oh, yeah.
In hindsight, it's just a question. It's not a statement. Would we have been better off, rather than buying Scamacca and Paquetá, getting Broja, Chelsea, who would be much more, I think, workmanlike, would run the channels like Antonio does, and maybe Gallagher in the midfield?
I think he tried though, didn't he? If the reports are right, I think that they were his preferred players. But having said that, I don't know that Broja and Gallagher ain't set the world like this season, though.
No, they haven't. Gallagher last year, he was brilliant.
Oh no, I like Gallagher. I do like him.
Yeah,
but again, I suppose your point is, would they have been more suited to us? Probably, yeah. Because but that doesn't mean that they are better than the players that we've got, because I don't think they are. I don't think Gallagher is better than Paquetá. I think that the issue that you've got is when you buy players like this, you've got to accommodate them. You have to adapt. You've got to adapt. So you can't buy them and just expect them to change into to fit what was. You want to get the best out of them, right? And if you've got to change the way you plan to do that, then you just do it.
Yeah. Can I ask Nigel? A question?
Oh shit, go on.
Because I've listened to Nigel a lot over the years. First time I had a chance to talk to him. Two questions. A, if Moyes did go, who would you like to see come in? Was it the lad from Portugal that gets mentioned? The manager from Portugal gets mentioned a lot.
Yeah.
Amarim. And also, does he think really these Scamacca, Paquetá? Do you think Moyes can get the best out of them? Because with the system with Souček in it, I can't see it working. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't sit right with me when you watch it play. I think you've got to leave Souček out the side for a while and maybe try Fornals as a number 10, put Benny and Antonio wide of Scamacca, play down with Rice or Paquetá. Try something different. But I just can't see Moyes changing that much, to be true with you.
Go on, Nigel.
I'll answer the second question because I can't remember the first question.
The first question was if Moyes, just say, look, you're not saying you want Moyes out, but you wake up tomorrow and Moyes is gone.
Yeah, but
you can pick a manager. Who would it be?
My first port of call was Bielsa, and believe me, just before the World Cup, boys, I did text you. It piped up Bournemouth. Could be, and I'm thinking, hold up a minute. At the end of the day, Bielsa was our number one, I believe, pick. The season we appointed Bilic. Yeah, and we bought Payet. Remember, we managed Payet and made him a really good player. Was Bielsa. Bielsa is one of the most admired coaches around the world. They all knew Bielsa.
Nigel,
and his football.
Yeah, Nigel. Yeah. Nigel, I was going to say, I watched when Bielsa first came to Leeds in the Championship. I said last week to the other lads, and Leeds will come almost my second team. I think Bielsa's totally unique. His style of play. The only thing worries me is defensively. I mean, I know towards the end, Leeds were letting him. I mean, before he left, I think they conceded a terrible amount of goals, 5, 6, 7, and 3. And much as we moan about Moyes, I've said before, we don't get thrashed by anybody anymore. We don't get 4 or 5
But
goals.
Leeds didn't have the money though. And my point with Bielsa is he came up and he played his attacking football and it was brilliant. And then in the second season, he sort of come unstuck because he didn't really have the defence.
He didn't have depth in the squad, Nigel.
No, but he didn't really have the money to go out and get the quality. At West Ham, I'm not saying he's going to have like endless amount of money, but he would have investment more than he's got at Leeds, or more than he had at Leeds.
Yeah.
And
so what you're saying,
else.
What you're saying then, really, Nigel, is obviously you like entertaining football. I know you've seen it in the past.
All day long. Listen,
and obviously,
I'm not here to defend Moyes. I'm not, and I've said this before with him. Moyes football is acceptable when it's winning football. Now, it hasn't been winning football. The thing is, it is, and it does cloud the effect with what he's done in Europe, because we haven't done that for so long. because of actually achieving a 6th and 7th place finish. Where at the end of the day, this club's never done that ever. Finished that high 2 seasons running. We've only ever finished top 10 twice, 3 years running in our history. Once early 80s with John Lowell, once with Harry Redknapp. But they were like a 5th, an 8th, and a 9th, not a 6th and a 7th. You know, under Redknapp it was a 5th, 8th, and 9th. Under Lowell it was like an 8th and 9th and a 7th. So to be
honest,
until 85, 86, our highest league position was 6th. So, we've never been that team that's been a top 4 team ever. So, therefore, that does for me buy him. And I keep saying it. I've said it, the boys know it. It buys me till March. And people can say what they like, and Nick will, and Nick, I'll give it back. And believe me,
I've already said it.
We fall out on WhatsApp all the fucking time. We've had more WhatsApp groups set up because we walked out than our fucking Schindlers have fixed lifts.
He can't stay away. He can't stay away.
Yeah, and they keep fucking bringing me back just when I thought I was out. Bringing me back.
Listen, Nigel, it's never a dull moment, though, is it?
No, it's good fun, isn't it?
What I was going to say to you is our league form. Really, it went wrong when you think about it. A year ago, after we beat Liverpool 3-2, and then we had a week international break for 1 week. Do you remember? We came back against Wolves, and since then it's never been the same. So I just wonder what happened with that. It's a bit strange one, that is.
Oh, I think we lost O'Connor and
Can I chip in?
one
No,
go.
but can I chip in with something with this, because it's always something that I just think it's a little bit of a. Is it just a coincidence that was the point when Kretinsky brought into the club?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, before that game. Yeah, before that game.
I think losing centre.
Do you think it's just coincidental, Nigel?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I just.
Oh, okay.
I do think.
The
loss of form.
So what went wrong then?
I'll tell you what went wrong. We overachieved. You know, to be sitting on 28 points after like 18, 19 games halfway through the season. That ain't West Ham.
Yeah, I know. But overachieving doesn't excuse underachieving, which we're doing now.
No. And we are underachieving. But what I'm saying is, where the difference between Moyes and Pellegrini is that Pellegrini never had that in the bank. Yeah, no. He turned up and lost his first 4 games. Yeah. And we were all forgiving because we would struggle to stay up, and Moyes had come in, and even though I think Bilic would have kept us up, I don't think we'd have gone down under Bilic. So, but anyway, Pellegrini comes in, struggles. Pellegrini got us 10th or 11th, but he only managed that by winning like the last 2 or 3 games of the season. Before that, we've been sitting 14th, 15th around that period all season. So then the second season turns up. It's basically poor, isn't it? Mm-hmm. They sack him after 19 games with 19 points, I believe. Bring in Moyes, who achieved 19 points or 20 points in 19 games.
So we could be on 14. We could be on 14 points from 19 in a few games' time.
Well, yeah, but we could be on 17 points, or we could be on 20 points, Gal. You know, let's get to the 19.
What I will say is, Nigel. I think what you're saying is part of it. I don't disagree with. When you say Moyes has got credit in the bank, morally. Does Moyes deserve time? I think, there's an argument for it. Cool series.
There's no morals in football.
But what I'm saying is, Nigel. But what I'm saying is, morally, would that be the right thing to do? Yes, there's an argument for it. But if it's a wrong thing for the club, then it's wrong.
Look, you ask a lot of West Ham fans, would you accept 17th spot, but we win the Conference League? Yeah, I bet you 75% of West Ham fans.
Yeah, but if you're 17th, you're running the risk of being relegated.
No, and this is the thing,
Well, he didn't say that.
But that ain't the thing, yeah. If you at the end of the season you finish 17th and win the Conference League, are you going to be happy? Yes, we fucking will. Yeah. Well, if you sack Moyes now, you're not affording him the chance. I don't think we've got
any chance of winning anything, even that Europa Conference League with Moyes.
6 games away from a final, Nick.
But he ain't a winner, John. The guy isn't a winner.
What I find interesting is
how many managers are winners?
Good point. Good point. Yeah. It's a good point, Nick.
Yeah, I didn't say it's not.
He also hasn't won loads. I think he won a couple of things in Spain.
He has won things.
Pellegrini was a winner.
He's won things in Argentina, but I think in Europe, I think he's only won things in Spain. Is it Bilbao he was with or someone?
Pellegrini's a winner. Won the title with Man City.
Yeah. That's why we forgave him when he first come in and started so shit, because he had that pedigree
Won the
behind
FA Cup,
him.
finished second.
Yeah.
Did well in Spain, took Malaga in the quarter-final of the Champions League, I believe, and now look at him with Betis. He's got them like in third, or they were third. I think they've dropped the fourth. They're fighting in the top places. I think they won the Spanish Cup as well, Betis.
Yeah.
So...
What I was going to say to you also, listening to Nick and Nigel talk about the relegation, I find it quite intriguing that with West Ham fans, listening to them, the people that think we are in a relegation fight, and some people think we ain't. I think, the thing is, I know we've been relegated in the past, Nige, but now, if we went down, if we did go down, it'd be catastrophic, wouldn't it, really, for us? I think,
if we go down, yes, it will be catastrophic. The couple have to
can I ask you, even if like the next 3 games, say the Brentford, Leeds, and Arsenal, if we lost all 3, would you still stick?
Me, I've said it, and I'm on record as saying this. I'll give Moyes until March. Because in March you still got 12 games. Well, what I believe is that come March, even if you're bottom of the table, I bet you're only 4 points from safety, and we've been in worse positions than that and got out.
But you're relying on Nige. When you say 12 games to go, you are sort of saying that's coming from a place where you don't care if we get relegated.
No, I don't.
Right?
But I've always said that. I don't
Even though you know. But Nigel, even though you accept it would be catastrophic for West Ham, you don't care if we get relegated.
No.
Yeah. With 12 games to go, it would take
financially, Nick. Yeah,
no,
I don't fucking give a toss.
But the only way to get out of with 12 games to go, if you're in the bottom 3, the only way to get out of it is a Kirbishley style Great Escape, which just doesn't happen.
We've done it a few times.
Well, it's a miracle. It's a miracle, isn't it?
Well, it's rare. It's rare, right? So what you're saying is you'd accept relegation. Look, I'd accept relegation. I'd go and watch them and all that shit, but I don't want it.
Especially in that stadium. How grim would it be,
Nigel? Listen, but Premier League football in that stadium, shit. So
but how bad would Championship
football would be?
Might be fun, isn't it? I'll tell you what. At least I'll be able to walk out of there properly about the kickoff.
You're considering your journey home ahead of the good of the football club. Is that what it is?
No, what I'm saying is actually, it don't fucking bother me. And this is the thing. If West Ham win, I'm great, fantastic. If they lose, let's look forward to the next game. It was my wife that I used to be like Nick. Yeah, I used to be like Nick. I used to walk home on the ground, 10-minute walk, get in there. She couldn't talk to me. I was fucking fuming. Wouldn't sit there Saturday night, nothing. And she's like, I don't know why you like this. If West Ham got relegated, would you still go over there? And I was like, well, of course I fucking would. I'll go and watch them open a fucking envelope. Has it got a West Ham envelope on it? I'll see how they're going to open it. So I would do it. So it don't matter. If West Ham win or lose, will that stop me going? No. So why do I get upset? Does it bother me if West Ham play Man United or Rotherham? No, it don't. So relegation don't bother me.
It's the same with me. I'll go and watch them no matter what, but it still fucking bothers me if we lose.
Yeah. Oh, no, it bothers me if we lose, but if we get relegated, if we're playing Rotherham, like that 1-0 defeat to Rotherham, that fucking upset me.
Yeah.
And Roda lost his job, and quite rightly. Now, the funny thing is Roda only kept his job probably because he fell ill.
Probably.
Because any other manager would have been sacked after being relegated.
I know.
No, that's true. That's true.
So,
Black Country's got he's come up with a comment here. So he mentioned something back in the chat as well. I think he went to a funeral today. His father-in-law passed away. So raise a glass to the father-in-law, mate.
Rest in peace, mate.
Rest in peace. He said, I sound like a bit of an old broken record. Mancini for me. Settle the ship, and then we'll go from there. I think that would be a good one. I mean, because is it right that Mancini he's got a relationship with Skamaka, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he's national team manager.
He's a national team manager, isn't he? What would you think of Mancini, Nige?
Mancini. Yeah,
I don't think you can say no. I don't think you can say no.
No, look, Matt. Listen, he is a winner, isn't he? He was the one that got Man City to do something they hadn't done before, win the Premier League title. It was him that come in and done it. You know, could say he had the money. I think he went back to Italy, done okay. I mean, you can't argue. He's won the Euros for Italy.
Yeah.
But then failed to get to the World Cup. So, but they haven't sacked him, have they? I mean, he's got Scamacca in the team. How many goals has Scamacca scored for Italy?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, no.
None. He hasn't. He's only played about 8 games.
Oh, but still not scored a goal.
Yeah.
Look, but sure about that, John? I think he has.
Yeah, but Nigel, Nigel. Can I say something though?
I don't think he scored.
But we saw when Scamacca came in, he's shown a full range of his striking ability. He scored all different types of goals. He's definitely got a ton of ability. That guy, he really, really has. It's just getting the best out of him. I think what we're seeing is Haller Mark II, because
Johnny's right.
I think he's doing the same things over and over again, like what he did with Haller. And until Moyes accepts that he needs to change it and change it properly and get someone close, because when Scamacca was at Sassuolo,
can I just say Fred Asco won mastermind?
Yeah, but is it,
nine appearances, 0 goals for Italy.
Yeah, when I asked that question, I did know the answer.
Yeah.
That's why I asked it.
But when Scamacca played for Sassuolo, when he obviously the last few years he had Raspadori with him, who was a very different type of player, little tricky. And they play off of each other, and I think that's just what you've got to do.
Do you think we need to buy Raspadori?
You just got to, even if you play with Bowen, Nigel, I think Bowen would be better if you played him closer to him.
He needs someone off of him. He needs someone
play him closer to him.
If you look at when we played against Liverpool, the last 20 minutes, I know we keep going on about the last 20 minutes in a lot of games, especially Liverpool game. We smashed them. Last 20 minutes, 4-4-2. Now, I'm sorry. People say this is old-fashioned, but tactics have an habit of going in fashion and out of fashion.
Mate, we've been calling 4-4-2 for ages.
And at the end of the day, 4-4-2 will give our defence more support, because a lot of our problems stem from out wide.
Yeah.
So we would have 2 banks.
Yeah.
He can't play. He's got to play one creative with Declan Rice. So you'd have Paqueta, Rice, wide midfielders. But you could have your Fornals and a Ben Rama or a Bowen, and then you have 2 up top. But when I say 2 up top, Antonio and Scamacca, but I want to see another striker coming in January. I
think we
really
need
do.
another striker.
I really do. You know, even that geezer from Bournemouth who plays for Wales, he's a bit of an Andy Carroll type, but he scores goals.
Yeah.
You know, just someone a bit different. That's what we need.
Yeah, we do need something different. Yeah.
What about the Blackburn bloke?
That's what Moyes came out and said he wasn't interested, didn't he?
Apparently he said he don't rate him. He doesn't want him. Yeah,
he's shit the way he whacks balls in the top corner from 30 yards.
You do know it is a fact, Nigel, as well, that Moyes said the same thing about Maddison before he went to Leicester. He was offered Maddison.
How long's Maddison been at Leicester? Was Moyes here when Maddison?
Yeah, no, he was. That was.
He turned him down. He turned him down.
He turned him down. Didn't like him.
Yeah.
He said he's shit.
That was a fuck up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mate, listen, you want me to start a list of West Ham's and fuck ups? Yeah, we had Didier Drogba on a pre-contract.
Neymar as well.
Well, we tried to buy Neymar. Yeah, I still chuckle when I see him play. But we had Drogba signed on a pre-contract.
Really?
Who was that? Who was that Chilean striker?
Yeah, unfortunately, we got relegated in 2003.
Who was that? Nigel, who was that world-class Chilean striker who broke his toe getting onto the plane?
Oh, not Salas, was it?
Salas, Marcelo Salas. Yeah. He was ours.
That one. Yeah, he was
coming across the sign, wasn't he?
You know, only West Ham can buy a world-class player in Paolo Futre and fucking...
Who described it, after paying for Real Madrid, described it as his dream move to come to Upton Park, didn't he?
Yeah.
One more question for you, lads.
Yeah. Quick, because I've got 5% battery.
Go on, Gareth.
Yeah, one more question for you. Talking about the relegation thing just now, we did lose the next 2 or 3 games. what we've got to think about is the atmosphere over there. I mean,
well, yeah, it'll
the
go.
players start-
It'll
We
fall
ain't
off.
got
the
one.
cliff, mate.
Poisonous.
I won't worry about
No,
that.
well,
We ain't got
yeah,
one.
You will have one.
over
You will
there.
have one then, Nigel, and it won't be nice.
No, the team have got to play under them conditions. I mean, it's not going to, it's not going to help us, is it?
No,
No, it
No,
won't.
no,
It won't.
it's
It'll be
not.
horrible over there. It'll be horrible.
I know.
Don't worry, our loyal support will carry us through, even if we get relegated. All those people that never went to Upton Park and loved the fucking stadium, they'll all be still over there. I'm
We'll
sure
be rattling
they will.
around. All 20,000 of us.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking, I love it. I'm still paper my band 5 seat, but at least I'll be able to walk down a lot easier into the band 3s then.
Yeah. Yeah.
I must
much
admit,
easier to
do you
get
know
in the
what? Do you know what?
supporters club afterwards, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I must admit, if we did get relegated, I would literally get the fucking best seats ever because I think you'd have your pick. That'd be decent.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
I've stood in the Bobby Moore lower all season, and I've done it for down there.
Oh, are you Bobby Moore upper?
Yeah, I'm Bobby Moore upper, but I've
What
been
the
sitting
fuck
there
are you
years.
doing down in my place then? Go and fuck off upstairs where you belong.
Yeah, getting the same view for half the price, Gal.
I know.
Freddie loves it down the front. Freddie loves it down the front.
If I see you downstairs, John, I'm going to tell a fucking shoot. I'm going to say he's in the wrong place, mate.
Fucking grass him.
Check his ticket.
Fucking no one's at grass.
Yeah, but anyway, Gary, have you got any other questions, mate?
No, not really. I think we've covered most of it. Like I say, I'm just going to be intrigued when we play Arsenal to see what his team selection is. Is he going to possibly Sotik out there still and Bowen, and he hasn't changed nothing. I think that the writing's on the wall. He has time to think about things, doesn't he?
Because if he, like I said, I'm not expecting us to beat Arsenal, but at least if we tried something different, it would be.
Yeah, give us some hope for fuck's sake.
Just give us something.
3-2-5. How about that?
It's
3-2-5. 3 at the back, 2 in front, 5 up front. Fuck it. Let's score 10, but at least
as long as the 2 in front are Rice and Paqueta. I'll settle for that. For that.
Go on, Gary.
I think really, with formations, you've got to play with what you got. And I know 4-4-2 is a very outdated thing these days, but I mean, end of the day, I think the players we've got to play to a system that we get the best of our players.
4-4-2 would allow our defenders, our left and right back, to concentrate on defending.
Yes.
We've struggled. Our left and right backs, Cresswell, Soufal, Johnson, whoever, they've all struggled with having to do the attacking side of the game and get back. They're all struggling for whatever reason. Right? If you play 4-4-2, makes them defend. Huh?
John, who would you play with? Who would you play alongside Skamaka, Bowen or Antonio?
I'd say Bowen, personally. But only on form, Bowen, and he's not at the minute. So
I'd play Antonio. I
don't know. I still think Antonio's impact.
I want to see. But I want to see Antonio and Skamaka.
He should be rested to fuck Antonio by the time we get back.
Yeah,
he's been in Jamaica playing friendlies.
Yeah, no, but he's going to be back. He'll have 4 weeks.
Plus, you've got Cornet coming back as well, hopefully.
Yeah, right. Until he breaks a fingernail.
Yeah, I know. But it's I don't think it's the Arsenal game so much. I think if we put in a good performance, I think it's the Brentford League game. That's the point. That's the 2 games we've got to pick up points from.
Yeah, no.
We've got to be getting 4 points in them 2 games, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if he's, I'll tell you what, if he's got, if it's true and he's got 3 games to turn it around, I think if we were to get beat quite badly against Arsenal and then it really goes south against Brentford, I don't think there's any point in giving him leads.
No, you might as well pull the
what's the point?
Yeah. Can I ask Nigel? Because he knows quite a bit of information about the club.
No, he don't.
Was it true though that when they said he's got 3 games, they set him a target of minimum 5 points? Is that right?
And this is the thing. Who has said he's got 3 games? Because everything I've seen that's come from the club that apparently ain't real.
Your mate Stell, Nigel.
Well, no, then he's fucking wrong. Then the club have not said. I'll tell you what happened. Yeah, and this is the thing. A long time ago, Dave Sullivan made a quote to members of Claret and You that said no manager can really survive losing 6 games on the trot. Yeah. Right. Now, what happens is that certain person that now writes for another website that maybe has got my name on it, rehashes that, yeah, because this is his old MO, yeah. Believe me, I argue with him a lot, yeah. He rehashes that and goes, remember, Dave Sullivan says, if you lose 6 on the trot, it's hard to survive. Well, he's lost 3 already. And he puts 2 and 2 together, or allows you to put 2 and 2 together, where David Sullivan has never come out and said he's only got 3 games.
Fucking liar.
But Nigel, he does
people fall for it all the time.
But he does speak to his senior sources. He does speak to his senior sources, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
I know it's arbitrary. I know it's arbitrary, as in a measure, and he's making that calculation by himself. But he's surely 3 games to go. That'll take us to halfway point in the season.
Yeah,
I think right?
Logically, that you imagine.
Listen, and this is the thing, people. Look, fucking, he probably ain't watching anyway. You know, he'll be emailing him. Do you remember when you said this, Dave? Like, what do you think now? You know, or after these games, you sacked Pellegrini, and he had more points than Moyes. Any comment? You know, plant little seeds of that into fucking Sullivan's mind. The only thing is now is it is a different kettle of fish because Kretinsky has got voting rights. Now, I think Sullivan, in allowing Kretinsky to buy in, they allowed him to do what he did because technically Moyes and Sullivan and Gold will stick together voting wise. They've still got enough. Yeah,
they got a majority.
But what happens if Kretinsky actually thinks one thing and Gold thinks the same? Who knows? And to be fair, David Gold, who knows? It's like Weekend at Bernie's now with him.
He could do anything, He could do anything.
I'm not sure. I think they've literally propped him up on the wall.
Bless him. Bless him. He don't look well, does he? He don't look well.
He doesn't.
He don't look well.
Fucking Bernie in the film looked better than him.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what we do. I'll tell you what we do, Gary, because as you are, you're literally one of you're our most regular caller. And I want to say very sorry for putting you on the hold for 2.5 minutes while I was getting myself a Belgian bun and a glass of wine. So when we do our Christmas, because we'll do a Christmas show. We did that last year. We'll do a big Christmas show, mate. And what I'd like you to do is actually come on the show. We'll send you the link, and you can come on with all of us. Get your face on screen. You like that?
Yeah, all right then. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. So we get you on the show with
us.
Gal,
what'd you do for a living? Are you a cabbie? Because I've got cabbie in mind. No. Cabbie from Romford.
No, I actually run a pest control business.
Oh.
You got anything for Nick?
There's a few pests around here. Fucking control.
Do you know the other Nigel King? Do you know Nigel King?
No.
I know him on Twitter. Is he in pest control?
Yeah, Nigel King's in pest control.
He's got a thing with exotic animals and stuff, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's got like snakes and shit. He loves to. He used to do the like in the old stadium in Upton Park, they used to fly.
The Hulk,
whatever it was.
Falcons.
The Hulk. Yeah. That was it. That was his bird.
Oh right, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Bit funny was it?
Bird.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't get him many other. Well, right. I know he's called Nigel, but fucking hell, right? Can he do better than that?
But no, he used to do that, and he still does it. I think he does it at the Emirates now as well. He scares the pigeons away and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Are you missing the Premier League yet, lads?
I am. Yeah. I'll take the Premier League all day long over this shit.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
No way. There's been some good games.
No, they're right. It's boring.
You're still bitching, though. Nick, we managed to keep bitching. We're a few days out now, and we're still bitching about the Premier League, so it's all good, isn't it? It's like as if it was still here.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying some of the games. I mean, but I do like. I've always preferred club football to international football. Always have done.
I do.
I usually do. And some tournaments have become quite boring. But I think this tournament's been quite good because some of the smaller teams have been winning. And listen, I love that. I love that,
The group stage is always shit, right? Wait for it to get some knockout stages. The group stage is only good for seeing like Brazil get warmed up and all the other teams. But there have been some decent wins, some decent upsets. But it is only the group stage. Germany lost to... Who did they lose to?
Don't like you, Nige. You've upset Lauren.
Who did they lose to? Japan, right? Yeah. Germany lost to Japan. Germany will now go and win the next 2 games and cruise through to the knockout stage, right?
I might top off. I've got 2% battery left.
Yeah. Oh, you're nearly out of battery.
Yeah.
I said last week though that I think the World Cup would be a better format, and the same with the Champions League. I think if you just did away with the groups completely. I know why they do it, the money, but just if it was knockout from the start away, it'd be much more exciting.
Yeah, I think the next World Cup in the USA is going to have 48 teams. Am I right?
Is that right?
I don't know. Is it true?
That's what I read. I think I've read that as well.
It's like a fucking link. Anyway, let's wrap this up because Nigel's nearly out of battery. Gary's going.
Nigel's dropping off. Yeah. Cheers, Gary. Thanks very much, mate.
Gary.
Take care, lad. Thank you.
See you later.
Lovely. Right. Okay. That was it.
Nigel's gone. Nigel's gone.
No, he's still there. He's still there. I can see his eyes moving.
No.
He is.
He is still there. Right.
Silly buggers.
I'm still here.
Right.
Just fucking.
Right. Thank you very much. Go on, Gary. Go on, wrap up.
Thanks for everyone for your comments and everything else. Been a lovely show. Thanks to the callers and thank Nigel for joining. It's been a while. We'll see you next time for the post-match review after Tuesday night. England versus who we playing? Wales.
Yeah.
Wales.
England
for
beat
Tuesday.
Yeah. England beat. England versus England beat Tuesday night. When we get through, we'll do Wales. We'll take 3 points off them, and we'll fly through as group winners, playing the second team. What is that group? Netherlands, Ecuador. Yeah,
Senegal,
Senegal, and all that. Yeah,
we'll be Qatar, whatever. Out.
We'll be fine. Put it like this: we're getting to the quarterfinals, but I'm not sure we're getting any further. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. See you soon, and come on, you. I'm not going to say Lions. Come on, you Lions.
Come on, you Lions. Should we do a big hammers for Nigel because we know he loves it. Should we do that?
Come on.
Come on.
See you later. Night.
See you later. Bye. Night.